All right, I am live. And a little message for people who see this. If you're on my Facebook and you ever see someone send you a friend invite that's supposedly me, I never send friend invites on Facebook, never. There are people who are either hackers or trolls who either steal my picture or steal my name and they send you friend invites to get on their stuff. Always click on the profile if anyone sends you anything, whether it be a message on YouTube, whether it be a message on Facebook. Always click on the profile because there's always people that either they pretend to be someone else to hack you or they do something else. So I just wanted to mention that to people out there and for anyone who ever gets into that stuff. So again, for anyone out there, if you ever, like I said, if you ever see on Facebook or on YouTube, someone always check the person's profile because again, there are people that will pretend to be me and they will use my name, they will use my face picture. Always check the profile. So, if anyone can see that, so always check, regardless, just how people are nowadays. Let's see. What is this? That's cool. I'm glad you can see and hear me. Thank you, David. I'm glad you're enjoying the playthrough. Thank you so much for that. But it's not the first or last time it's happened, so yeah, it's not the first or last time that's happened, so it's typical. I mean, the person wants to give a big blow up on it, whatever. It's happened before, it'll happen again. Like I said, anytime, whether it's Facebook or YouTube, always click on the. Okay, cool. Message didn't go through,
Hey
but okay,
there.
cool.
Yeah, there's only one real
Hey, how's it going,
Rambarav.
man?
Doing good. How about you?
Doing all right.
Yeah,
Not too shabby.
good, good.
But again, I mean, just to reiterate one last time, it happens to Mike as well.
Yes, I was gonna say that. There have been people who have made fake accounts on Facebook of me using, my profile pic and my banner, and they'll try to friend request people and just, be trolls. You just gotta look at
The
the
profile.
profile and everything and, check out the posts and you'll know. You'll know for sure. Also, they type in ways that aren't like either of us. So, there's that too. Like, if
Yeah,
you ever have gotten any messages from us, like in, replies and comments, we have a certain way of wording things, and the people who try to imitate us, like they don't do that the same way. In fact, it's really
they don't.
bad. Like, they can't even spell properly half the time.
So again, one last final time before we go on with the chat for anyone who sees this after the fact. If you're on my or Mike's Facebook or YouTube, there will be people who from time to time, just because pretend to be us, they'll use our face picture, our real name, all that stuff. Like I said, I never send friend invites to people. I never do. Uh, just click on the page, just click on the profile, I should say, not on their page. Just click on the profile and you'll see. So,
Mhm.
um,
Yeah.
but hey to
I
everyone
rarely
out there,
send
just
out
want to say,
I rarely send out friend requests on Facebook as well. I only accept friend requests. I only send out a friend request if I know it's like somebody that I actually know who they are. Other than that, no.
yeah. So a little bit of hi to people before we start, just to say hi to the chat. Hello there, AB James, Jeremy Power, Lord Cosmo, Predminator. Hey there, Frame by Frame. Hope you're doing well. Manny, the Video Master, Samuel, DJ Mitsicano, Boomstick Critique, Lucas. Hey there, Silver Wings. Hope you're doing well. Jesse Swarbrick, Broad Stipe, Arcade, Jedizilla, Marco Anzio, James, Arcade, Neopunk, David, Hey Rich, hope you're doing well. And like I said, that goes for every platform, whether it be Instagram, whether it be Facebook, whether it be YouTube. Again, there's always going to be fake people pretending to be his.
Or people would just make videos like lying with lies in them, you know.
What was that
video?
video?
The hate
what was
videos
that
that we've gotten.
What was the video in the interview?
Oh,
they hate us because they ain't us.
Yeah, exactly. They hate us because they ain't us.
Hate us because they ain't us. And real quickly, like, wow, thank you, man. First question: what are thoughts on the Marvels trailer?
It looks like fucking shit. That's my first thoughts on that trailer. It looks embarrassingly bad. I mean, from the opening sequence, it looks like it's a poor man's version of the space dock scene in Star Trek 3. Then after that, you just get some of the worst CGI you will ever see with the girl in a spacesuit, astronaut or whatever, and it looks like her head is floating inside her suit, and just really bad humor. And you know that freaking cat that is the reason why Nick Fury lost his eye? Well, it's back now, and now there's an army of them. There's a whole shot of like a bunch of these cats going down some stairs. And I'm like, wow, they are so desperate now. Like, oh, we'll have more of these cats. And people will have to love the movie now because we have more of these cute little fluffy kitties. And I'm like, are you making a cute cat video for Facebook or Instagram or YouTube? Or are you making a Marvel movie? And the plot, it involves two characters that, unless you actually watch the shows on Disney Plus, like WandaVision and Miss Marvel, you're not even going to know who the fuck these two are. Monica Rambeau and Kamala Khan. So
I know
Captain
Rambo,
Marvel,
this ain't it.
Yeah, Captain Marvel, she can't even like star in her own sequel. Brie Larson. She's in like an ensemble in just the second movie in her own franchise. That really does show how much faith they have in her carrying the franchise for a film that supposedly made $1 billion worldwide in Captain Marvel. Yeah, it looks awful. Bad
Her last name is
CGI,
really
bad
Rambo?
humor. Yeah, Monica Rambeau. Like Beau, like Canadian, like French.
Oh, B-O-W?
Yeah, so not like that. Like Beau, like B-E-A-U, like Adrian Barbeau, that kind of thing.
Oh.
Kind of similar to that. But Rambeau. And yeah, it just looks terrible. It looks like one of the worst MCU films in years. It looks like something that would air on Disney Plus. It does not look like a theatrical film at all. And like the whole plot is I don't think this is necessarily a good idea, where it's like, oh, each time one of these Captain Marvels uses their power, they get replaced by another Captain Marvel. So each time they use their power, if there's one Captain Marvel that's in one location in the middle of a fight, then the other Captain Marvel will replace them. And so they have to like the only thing that's holding them back is themselves. That's what it seems like. And they're fighting the Kree again. I'm like, great, the Kree again. So yeah.
The band Creed?
No, I wish they were fighting Scott Stapp.
Every battle scene is a new song. What if I?
Or just with arms wide open.
Can you kick his ass higher? Till he cries in sleep. Can you kick his balls higher? till his throat is tasting sweat. I like
Uh,
Creed. I watch Creed more than Marvel's and Creed shit.
yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah, I don't
bad.
care
It
about
is
the
really
Marvels.
bad, and it's not getting received well. Like, there's a lot of people who are leaving just comments that are just absolutely scathing. They're dunking on the movie already.
Well, of course. Why would who? What is there to look forward to in that?
I can't think of anything. Not Sam Jackson, because they kind of ruined Nick Fury by the whole thing. Who lost his eye in the most just anticlimactic, lame way imaginable. After all that build up,
And they probably got a director who's not really doing anything, just being told what
yeah,
to do because Marvel
yeah,
makes these movies.
yeah. It's the same director who's going to be. Well, actually, I think it's actually a different director, but this gal, she's gonna be there was a gal, the same gal who is directing the Return of Rey, the new Star Wars movie.
Oh
She
no,
directed Miss
I
Marvel.
just saw this lady directed the Candyman movie,
Oh my god, the Marvels, yeah.
the Candyman,
Mhm.
the Wolty Man.
Yeah,
That
that
was
one
such
was
an
just
awful.
really that was terrible. That was really bad too. And it was like a
And
sequel,
before,
but like not really. Another one of those where
because
it's like
Tony
a
Todd's in
sequel.
it, but it makes no. Tony Todd's
Yeah,
in it, but it makes no sense.
no.
Instead, it's about how
It's
uh
about
we need,
BLM. That's what it is, about Black Lives Matter, and about,
they have to kill all the white
political
people.
stuff. Yeah, the all
By the end,
ACAB,
that's what it
all
is.
cops are bad, that kind of thing. Yeah.
And by the end, it's literally we gotta go kill all the white people. And before it
Candyman,
disappears, because you
you
could.
literally only needed one Candyman film. There was no need for any Candyman sequels. There was no need for this reboot or remake. Because even by the
Well,
second Candyman film, they were already basically remaking the first movie.
well, you needed a sequence where via like puppets shadow or something
Oh yeah.
shows the dire needs of cops and crooks
Hmm.
by done like whatever the hell that
You
was.
needed the puppet
You needed
version
that.
of the George Floyd's situation.
Yes, that's subtle. Yes, I
Not at
did
all.
see this clip, and now it makes me not want to watch that season.
Yeah,
I
with
liked
Lizzo.
the first two. Everything I've heard about this sounds garbage. Not
Well,
surprised.
I mean, you also heard that because I was talking to you about this, where they, the whole thing with season two, because I haven't seen either season yet, but I remember reading from someone who was like a fan of the first two that it was an interesting direction they took in the second season where Mando was separated from Grogu, and so he had to kind of,
Yeah, at
learn
the end
some.
of it,
Yeah, at the end of it.
you could look at it as the end of the show because
Yeah.
do you want me to spoil it?
Oh, I know. I mean,
Oh, you
I
know,
mean,
Luke
I know.
Skywalker,
Yeah, Luke
Grogu
Skywalker.
goes with
Yeah.
Luke.
Hmm.
That goes off. He's off to
Yeah.
his own thing. You could look at it as the end of the show,
Yeah.
and of
But no,
course they
season
ruined it
three that lasted no time at all because Grogu is back and with Mando, like
for
no time had really
advertising
passed.
to market Baby Yoda dolls. That's why.
Hmm.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
But hey, everyone, Bobby, Derek, Sloan, hello, everybody. Again, just to reiterate for people who weren't here before, I'll do this every once in a while. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, you see me or Mike send you quote a friend request. We don't do that. And there's people who either tried to hack you or trying to troll you, and they use our picture, our real names, and such. So
Yeah.
just always be careful out there, folks. But yeah, this is why is Jack Black in it? Who's Liza? I don't even know who the hell Liza is.
Lizzo. It's Lizzo.
Who's
The
Lizzo?
she's a musician. She's known for being, heavy set and, the whole like, oh, being overweight is, beautiful type thing. And and I get it, that's fine. But her music is okay, but I don't really need Lizzo in, Mandalorian. Like that doesn't seem
Yeah, not
necessary.
interested.
It's like the whole bit in She-Hulk where She-Hulk twerks with Megan the Stallion. You know, it's that kind of thing where you're like, this is distracting. Because how many, like in the original Star Wars trilogy, or even in the prequels, were there random cameos from celebrities? No, no,
In the
not that I
prequels,
no, or the original trilogy.
I would say Sam Jackson. I mean, it wasn't a
Yeah,
cameo, but he had a big
yeah,
role.
but it kind of made sense. It wasn't just a random one-off thing where, oh look, here's this
So,
celebrity. This is like the equivalent of the
uh,
Star Wars holiday special. Remember that? That was like, oh, here's this
yeah,
celebrity from TV. Well, here's Harvey Korman. Here's what's her name who played Maud on TV. Who was in the Golden
wasn't worth
Girls.
it. Yeah, it ain't
Bay
worth
Arthur.
spit. Naked pictures of B. Arthur. The Airheads would say. That's one of the demands from the Airheads.
I think that's probably where one of the writers of Deadpool, like Joe Kelly, he might have gotten that bit from Airheads. Now that I think about it, because Deadpool's infatuation with B. Arthur.
Deadpool's a big fan of Airheads. He wanted to be the Lone Rangers.
Yeah,
Well, you're not exactly lone.
yeah. Joe Mantegna
They
was
need to
great in
re-release
that.
that. They need to
Yes, give me a
re-release
new
that.
Blu-ray of that, and a Blu-ray of Encino Man. Speaking of Brendan Fraser, you know, films from around that time. Brendan actually, there was a really cool interview. Speaking of Airheads, with Brendan and Adam Sandler. It's like actors interviewing actors or something. It's on
Yeah, I
YouTube. If you
saw
just
that.
look, that was a really fun interview. Like you could tell that they were genuine friends, or they still are, and they had some
Yeah.
fun stories about Airheads. And Brendan was talking about how he still has the cassette tape of the single from the film. Was like Degenerate
De-
something.
uh, the song is Degenerate,
Yeah,
Degenerate,
Degenerate, yeah. It's not Degeneration X. That's a completely different thing.
Revolution X.
Yeah.
Which was I wanted to answer this. Just thank you, Bobby. Very kind of him. I would go with the Night Slasher and Cobra because Brian Thomas just seems more
Who is Fender?
Fender,
Fender Bender?
Cyborg
Oh, okay. Oh.
with the crazy eyes, the Meg Foster eyes.
Oh,
Fender,
okay.
the bad guy, the main bad
From
guy in Cyborg.
the main bad guy in Cyborg. Okay. Yeah. I was like, the
He's
movie
got the
Fender
crazy eyes.
Bender, the slasher and Fender
No,
Bender.
Fender fuckers.
Yeah. I would
That's tough. I mean, yeah. Go ahead.
That is tough. I mean, Night Slasher, it's Brian Thompson, but Fender, like the actor played him, and like the character himself is arguably maybe a little stronger, like physically. So he might be able to overpower him a little bit if the two got involved in a
Brian
fight.
Brian Thompson though in that film seems like a wild animal.
Yeah.
Like you try to,
Yeah.
and he would just with his knife, just which I have a
Yeah.
knife, but I don't want to show it on just in case
I
you
think
don't
that's
like it.
probably the thing that puts him over the top is his knife and his skills with the
Yeah, and he
knife.
much more of a crazy maniac. So Fender's crazy too, but Night Slasher just
Calling Fender
he
pig.
just
Pig.
which I pig. So I would go with the Night Slasher from Cobra. But hey to everyone in the chat. Uh, yeah, Night Slasher did get destroyed by the Terminator in the first movie. Brian
Yeah.
Thompson.
And Bill
Someone was
Paxton.
asking after Terminator 1 and 2, what's your favorite after Terminator 1 and 2? If
Terminator
you have one.
Salvation.
Yeah, I agree. Before I did the more questions, I called it. We talked about on Facebook the Spider-Man 2099.
Spider-Man, yeah, Spider-Man 2099 and Across the Spider-Verse. Yeah, the latest trailer dropped and it looks like Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099. is at the very least an antagonist. He might not be the main antagonist. They'll probably do
To like
something
team
where,
up at the end.
yeah, he'll redeem himself or something by the end and team up and fight some other threat. But to me, the damage is already done because you made him a flawed hero. Like you just went there.
Hey,
You made
John.
him a damaged, flawed hero who has some sort of ideology that's conflicting or troublesome that leads to a fight of wills between him and Miles.
No, I say it for all movies. Nope, I say it for all movies nowadays. All movies can eat it, but
Yeah.
all movies can eat it. And
Yeah,
I
when
know,
I
no,
saw that, I
Ryan.
definitely was like, I was like, oh, really? I was like, you got it.
That was right.
He's the bad guy.
And Ryan, you were asked, and no, I did not get any requests for the Mario Brothers movie. No, no one's requested it.
Speaking of Mario
And
Brothers,
I don't have streaming services, Josh. I don't use streaming services. I use Jet Sparrow.
I just recorded a new review of the 1993 Mario Brothers movie, and I am uploading that right now, so it should be live within like the next 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, but in the first film, even the trailers didn't make him look like a villainous, antagonistic
No,
character.
no. There's a difference between being flawed and being an antagonist. Because he clearly is. He's fighting Miles numerous times throughout the trailer.
Because they misinterpret something, they don't realize they err their ways, and they'll at the third act. I just want more of a Spider-Man 2099 movie with him as a
Yeah.
star. Otherwise, I like the first one. You know, second one, I don't look. Like I said, I don't look forward to it really much, but we'll see.
Well, definitely not anymore, right?
I just again, I don't look forward to much of anything.
I feel you
But
because I
yeah,
mean, I was with you with John Wick 4, really anticipating it, and then, saw it. And I swear to God, if I see one more comment telling me that it's such a deep and thought provoking and complex movie, and it was the perfect and best way to end the franchise, and that it makes it so John Wick is an idea and a martyr and all this other bullshit,
it was Viva Vendetta.
I'm gonna knock the film down 1 star, and I'm not even gonna say it's a time waster because I just that ending I really don't care for it at all. And I know Keanu actually said in an interview that he wanted it. In fact, he was one of the main reasons behind the reason why that the film had that ending, because he wanted John to like die like a samurai or whatever.
Like I said, for me, there's other problems I have with it as well. You
Yeah,
know,
me too. But
waited to the point where again, I know they're not realistic, but when you jump out of a 4-story window and you brush off like a sneeze
this is what
after 4 story,
happens.
like
Yeah.
when you fuck a stranger in the ass. No, go ahead.
Different movie. But this is what happens
The
when
real
Derek
Lebowski.
Kolstad is no longer a part of writing John Wick. This is what happens. And I know we were kind of leery about that. We were worried about that anyway. We were like, oh no, Derek's not going to be involved with this one.
But
We
I
put a
said
lot of
multiple
faith in
things.
Keanu. We put a lot of
I
faith in
look forward
Keanu
to
that
it.
he wouldn't, go there. But
There's one guy saying that I wouldn't want to hate it for months and months in each stream. People would
yeah,
ask me, like, I look forward to John Wick 4.
yeah, I don't get that at all.
And
Especially if you're a
then,
fan of the first three, like we both are. Like, why would it make any sense
yeah,
for us to want to go into it wanting to hate it?
I literally have thumbnails doing this for
Yeah,
John Wick 1, and then this for John Wick 2. And then
yeah,
John Wick 3, oh, my favorite film of the year. Again,
uh-huh.
it's just 3 hours. Scott Atkins is a Dick Tracy villain.
Yeah, he's terrible.
Uh, I'm sorry, the stairs ain't much.
No.
You didn't mind the scene. I'm like,
Yeah.
really? After
Well,
the
I mean,
last two finales, it's just a
it
big old
did
pair
get
of
a
stairs.
little like I like the stuff with him and Donnie Yen when they team up. Prior to that, I didn't really care for it as much. So I like the whole stuff between, Keanu and Donnie Yen on the stairs, but some of the other stuff, it's kind of
Mhm.
like a half and half sort of thing with that. But the duel,
Mhm.
I think is lame. I know people have said, "Oh, it's better than just another big grand action sequence because it has more weight to it and there's more emotion." And I'm like, I didn't feel any weight or emotion, and honestly, there isn't much any suspense because I know that Donnie Yen's not gonna, deliver a killing blow to John. I know Kane's not was never gonna do that, and
Also thinking they could have done this in the second movie.
exactly, that's the other thing. You're like, well, then why did they do the duel before?
This just
And
came out of their
I
ass.
also
No,
don't like the argument where, oh, well, if John does this and even if he dies, he sets a message, to the rest of the high table that no one's above the law or whatever. And I'm like,
like the
no,
Steven
he
Seagal.
doesn't. I know. No, he
Well,
doesn't
the high
because
tables.
yeah,
Listen, the high table's still around because they need
yeah,
spinoffs.
yeah. Okay, that's why.
Hey, DT channel, hope you're doing well. That's the only reason. If there was going to be, he's going to destroy the high end table, but then it's like, no, we want all these spinoffs, so we need a bad
Yeah,
guy organization behind
yeah.
it. So
Lame. So
keep it
this is
going.
this is this is this is the thing. It's like if this was meant to be the finale, go out with a bang. Have him kill them all.
It's too unrealistic.
The whole franchise is unrealistic. I mean, let's be
Yeah, I know.
honest. Let's be real here.
And no, Premier, I don't collect VHS tapes anymore. Not haven't in a while.
Whew, I've gotten a few, but it's only like if it's a good deal and if it's something that's only on VHS. Like Prince Valiant, the 1997 film. Which does have a release overseas, but it's out of print and incredibly hard to find, so I'll just get the VHS.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's neat that you're
Cool.
doing TV spot
Nice.
compilations. How about Stallone films or Van Damme films?
I would
Like
just
TV
say, like,
spots of the
80s
lot.
action films in general, that would be fun.
So, uh, what do you guys prefer, Blu-ray or 4K?
It
4K looks
depends.
better,
It
but
depends.
well, I guess yeah, it depends. Sometimes Blu-ray does look. Oh, isn't it sometimes 4K they do something weird with the
Yeah,
picture?
see, here's the thing, it's a depends situation for me, where
It's a diaper situation.
yeah, well, sometimes it is, because sometimes there are 4Ks that are shit, they look like shit, they should come with a diaper, like T2, the Terminator 2 4K. Um, but then other
That's cool.
times the
Good
Blu-ray
luck with that, man.
is inferior. Like for example, the Star Trek films, the 4Ks
Oh,
are
remake.
massive upgrades over the previous Blu-rays. Like it's not even remotely close. Um, and that is the case with some other ones. But there are instances like
Mike, real quick, like Michael,
mhm,
I didn't think PS4 played 4K discs, did they?
I think it does. I think it
Oh, okay.
does.
I never knew that. But go ahead.
The Xbox One does. So if the PS4 doesn't, then that would be really shocking because technically Blu-ray started
Bummer.
out, I believe. Blu-ray was a Sony. Blu-ray is a Sony thing. 4K though, I think is not strictly a Sony thing, but I could be wrong.
Hmm.
But it a lot of 4Ks lately though, like are just like a lot of the stuff from Scream Factory, like the upcoming Creep Show 4K and some of this other stuff. That's where I'm like, it's kind of like in the middle for me because I'm like, it's technically not really a new transfer. It's just put on a 4K disc, and if you have a good setup and a good player that can like up convert things well, there's really
What should I
not
say?
much of
There?
a difference between the Blu-ray versus the 4K disc in terms because it's the same transfer. So
Yeah, people are saying PS5 is 4K.
that's what it is,
Some people say.
PS5. Sorry, I forgot about the PS5. I was like
I
PS4.
thought it was that because I'm like I have a PS4. I don't remember trying 4K on it. So yeah, PS5 makes more sense.
Yeah, yeah, because 4K is a little newer sort of format. Grandmaster Jedi, she's pregnant. Oh, okay. She pregnant with Palpatine's fucking spawn, devil spawn
So
of
so
fucking
you
Emperor
can't make.
Palpatine.
So she stole Luke Skywalker's job, except for the pregnancy thing. But why on today? Maybe they would have made him pregnant anyway. But so Luke can't be the guy that trains the Jedi and be the
No.
Grandmaster. He's got to be
Gotta be dead.
Rey Skinwalker.
Or like Sleepwalker.
Yeah, I look forward to not seeing it. Just like
Because
that David Mangold
she's so
film. That's
boring that
20.
she might as well be sleepwalking through every scene.
Just I don't look forward to the 25,000 year ago Star Wars by the
Yeah.
biblical epic.
The Dawn of the
Oh,
Jedi. I'm like, no, I'll just stick with Dawn of the Dead, thank you. What about
yeah,
Skeleton Crew, Matt? The one that is basically explorers, but with Star Wars. Yeah, that's
I
the
don't know what that's
yeah,
been.
Skeleton Crew. That's another one that was announced along with those other two that Dave Filoni is directing, and they said it's like the Goonies, but with Star Wars. And I'm like, so like explorers, are they gonna have like a dumb lame ending too, with like some aliens that are
Jesus
into
Christ.
cartoons and shit?
Give me a break.
It's gonna be like Stranger Things, less like Goonies and probably more like Stranger Things, but set in the Star Wars
Great,
universe.
great. It's just what I want. The Star
Speaking of Stranger
Goonies. That's what I
Things,
want.
you've got yeah, Star Things. Speaking of
Star things.
speaking of Stranger Things, you're gonna be getting an animated series and probably season 5, and I guarantee there's gonna be more. There's probably to be
Well,
spin-offs and then
I
spin-offs
ain't
of
getting
those
it. I ain't
spin-offs.
seen it. So I
Well,
ain't getting it. Maybe you get it. Ain't getting STD. They already have the S. I mean,
because
they
Netflix
already
is
have the S and
probably
the
just
T of
as
Stranger Things.
desperate
They just need the D. They
as
got the S
Disney.
and the T already.
They sure do.
They got the S and the T. Stranger Things. All it needs the D. Well, that could be taken off. But a lot of
A lot of these
fuck. I'm
companies, they're
tired of Stranger
desperate.
Things.
They're desperate. They are just going to cling on to these IPs that are popular. I saw something that's really sobering. It was from somebody who was friends with somebody who was like an insider at Disney, and especially the animation. And he was talking to them, and he was mentioning an idea that he had,
The
and
JoJo.
the guy was like, unless it's tied into an established IP, there's slim to zero chance that that's
It's my
ever
function.
gonna happen. That they'll ever do anything with that concept, which is sad.
You don't know.
When you think about it, it's sad.
I'm not surprised. Yeah, someone mentioned that. Yeah, it makes me not want to watch that season. One of the many reasons. Although I like the first two, I'll just stick with that.
Unless the
And
comic
I
relief is John Candy, or actually talented comedians. Don't
but
really
it just
care.
it's like everything else. It always turns to crap.
This made me think about something. Did John Candy ever do anything with Robin Williams?
With Robin Williams,
Yeah,
can't think of anything. And not that I know of.
that would have been
Maybe
really
not.
that would have been really cool.
Yeah, I would love to have seen that. But as for hoping, yeah, I'm not, as like someone said, I'm not surprised and went downhill because everything goes downhill. Very rare to find something that hasn't gone downhill. Very rare.
I mean, even something like John Wick. Like after the first three, you're thinking like, how would they possibly fuck this up?
Well, according to the majority, they didn't. It's the best
I
action
know,
film of
but
the decade.
I feel that as the years will go by, that statement will age like milk.
Well, we'll see. Yes, One Man Beyond. I did see your videos. Nice job on them. Um, let's see. Year One with Jack Black, awful movie. I mean, I love Harold Ramis, but that was not his great hour of
No,
directing that.
not his finest hour for sure.
And let's see. No, haven't seen the Mario Brothers movie. Someone's asking you, have you seen Club MTV?
No, never heard of
Never, I've
that.
never heard of it.
Is it like a show that was on MTV or something? Like back in the day?
Yeah, I don't know.
I miss 90s MTV where it was legitimately like counterculture, let's push boundaries, let's put stuff like the Max and Liquid Television on TV and Beavis and Butthead, not whatever the hell it is nowadays, with like 50 hours of ridiculousness. I found out
Yeah, Black
that show
Panther.
lasted
You're right.
over 20 seasons, Matt. Ridiculousness. It's still going on. Over 20 seasons.
Hmm. What is it?
It's that show on MTV that's like a meme because like it's just constantly on the channel where I think was it Rob Drydeck? It was somebody like that who's like
Oh, for
hosting
Robin
the
Big.
yeah, I think it might be the Robin Big guy. And it's just
Oh, okay.
hosting a show that's basically just internet videos, clip shows. It's a clip show where they react to supposedly funny internet videos. You know, like Tosh Point oh, but without Daniel Tosh and good writing.
What?
Yeah, yeah, I heard about that. I've heard a lot of good things about season 3 though, from a lot of people who are like big diehard fans of Next Generation and Star Trek. They've been like, this is amazing. This is great. Like this is so much better than the other 2 seasons of Picard, and I'm like, I'm still leery about it because from what I heard about the other 2 seasons, they're so bad that I don't know. I don't know.
I don't trust what anybody says. People say John Wick 4 is the best action movie in the past 20 years, so I don't trust anybody.
Yeah.
Chapter 1, page 1 of the Rambo Rap manual. By the way, Bobby Reynolds, yeah, you had a birthday yesterday. Happy birthday. Hope it went well,
Happy
man.
belated birthday. So yeah, trust no one. Matt's a member of the X-Files now.
Can you blame me?
No, I can't. I cannot.
Chase, actually, go back to the beginning of the stream. We did talk about the Marvels trailer.
Yeah, it's bad.
Psycho Obo's asking you, did you get a request for Color Out of Space?
Yes, I did. If you requested
Oh,
it,
okay.
thank you. I will get to it as soon as I can. I also got a request for
Cool.
Hex, so that'll be fun. The skydiving and in the middle of a
Good,
curse, curse skydive.
good luck with that.
Yeah. Um. Speaking of requests, I actually watched one of them last night. The Last Unicorn. I was kind of surprised by that.
Mm.
was expecting it to be kind of lame, and I actually thought it was pretty decent for what it was.
No, Marvel, I don't trust any movie. Sonic 3, I don't care if it was the reincarnation of a Cobra 2. I don't trust any movie. I have no reason to.
Well, Cobra 2 now would I would have zero faith
I
in.
know, I
Yeah.
just looked at the post, but that's all.
Yeah.
So,
It's like RoboCop Returns. It's like, no, please don't make that movie. That is gonna be shit.
oh, my friend mentions with the Picard, if you gotta wait 2 seasons for a show to get good, it's not that good of a show.
Well, to be fair, the original Star Trek: The Next Generation TV show took a while in order to get good. So it just depends on the situation.
Hmm. I didn't watch much of that show.
I
I've
mean,
only
even
seen a few episodes, so
Seinfeld,
I
like
can't
if
tell.
you want to look at Seinfeld, one of the more
No problem,
most
General. Thank you.
popular comedy shows, um, it took a bit. Like season 3, 4, like it seasons 1 and 2 were watchable and fine, but it didn't really get great until like later on. So it just depends.
Yeah, I really, yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at the chat. A lot of questions from Mike. Did Mike see the new Dune film?
Not yet. I'm curious about it because I am a fan of Dune, specifically David Lynch's Dune, but I still haven't seen it yet. I was never really
And
like
then,
big on the trailers in the first place, even though I like Denis Villeneuve's work. But I don't know. I'll give it a watch one of these days after
oh, that was
rewatching the
boring.
'84 film, and then maybe
Thought the
watching
new
the
Dune was boring as shit.
the Sci-Fi Channel Dune movies because those were a thing.
Hmm.
The Sci-Fi Channel Dune miniseries events.
So, a few questions from Mike. What did you ever see the cartoon of Dungeons and Dragons in the 80s?
No, I never actually watched that. I think I might have seen maybe a couple clips on the internet. I remember seeing the intro, but that's about it. I don't think I've ever really watched that show. I've heard it's pretty decent. And I know the new Dungeons and Dragons, there's like a trailer or like a clip that's like a little homage to that, which is interesting that they actually did a bit of animated sort of homage to that show for the new one.
Apparently, I'm just a moderator now. Mike, here's another question for you. What do you think of Cocaine Bear? Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen Cocaine Bear yet. I did like the trailer, but I haven't watched it yet. I'm waiting for like
Mike,
some time off.
Mike, have you seen Agents of Shield?
No, didn't interest me.
Mike, have, what do you feel about Joe Dante?
I like Joe Dante. I've always been a fan of his. I think he's honestly a little underrated when it comes to filmmakers. Um, he really like if you think about it, other than Gremlins, I mean Gremlins 2 didn't really do as well as the studio would have hoped. Like it made money, but it wasn't like this massive huge hit like they were expecting it to be. So he did a lot of films, but not a lot of them actually were hits. Inner Space didn't do well at
Right.
all, and The Burbs, made money, but it's not like it was like some massive box office smash. So
Mm.
he was like this really sought after director after Gremlins, and then if you look at what happened afterwards, not like huge film after huge film after huge film, and you know how it is in Hollywood, like they'll keep giving you, a shot, but once, the box office returns aren't rolling in anymore, then sayonara. And then that's what happened with Joe Dante. I think his connection with Spielberg, his friendship with Spielberg definitely gave him a leg up and probably made it so he was able to get more films, even though a lot of his
You,
films weren't
you
really doing
fail.
that well.
You fail upwards in Hollywood. Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But Joe Dante, I do. I think he's a good filmmaker. My favorite film of his is Inner Space. Um, but yeah, it just became one of those things where he wasn't really considered to be like a it director anymore at a certain point. I would think because even yeah, after even before the Looney Tunes back in action movie, he hadn't really done a ton, and then that was it for his theatrical films. And then he did some direct to video, independent movies. Did he do something called The Hole? Right?
Yeah,
And did he also direct Burying the X? I think those are the
yeah.
ones that he did that were direct to video. I always felt Joe Dante in his prime would have been a great choice to direct a Fantastic Four movie. With a budget behind it, unlike the 1994 film.
Yeah, well, I don't know. We don't know much about Gamera. At least I don't.
No.
So I would not be right in that realm
Yeah,
of a
I don't know. I do
review.
have the Gamera films. I got them on Blu-ray from Era Video because it was a good deal, but no, I haven't watched them yet, so I can't say anything either.
I know a bit more about Godzilla than Gamera.
Mhm.
So Godzilla's a bit more in my
Spe-
wheelhouse.
Speaking of Godzilla, I swear to God, people use the Godzilla roar like in a ton of different things that are not
Thank you,
even
Bobby.
Godzilla related. Maybe it's because maybe they consider it public domain or something. I have no idea.
Exactly. Hmm.
Because I actually heard the Godzilla roar in The Last Unicorn of all things. There's a scene with the dragon,
Yeah.
and as it's roaring, it's clearly the Godzilla roar. And I'm like,
Hmm.
what the hell? Like, why am I hearing Godzilla right now while I'm looking at a dragon?
Yeah, I don't remember much about that film. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I'm not surprised. I know there's been other movies that have utilized the Godzilla War. I didn't.
It's kind of like,
I guess
remember,
can you
Matt?
really cop? Yeah,
You might be able to copyright it. I don't know, because it's almost like that submarine footage from Hunt for Red October. Remember, like in all these submarine movies, they would
yeah,
use the exact same footage from that or Crimson Tide. Sometimes both, all in one movie, and it would be a submarine film. Like, wasn't Agent Red one of those where like all the footage was stock footage from other submarine movies?
yeah. So I don't know about that, but thanks, man. Hope you're doing well. Good guy on there. But yeah, Agent Red. They did a lot of. It was a Dolph Lundgren film. There's a lot of footage of submarines. A lot of those movies did. Pretty much any direct-to-video film, like Michael Dudikoff did like two of them or three
Crash
of them was a
Dive.
submarine. Yeah, what that was one, and maybe it was a submarine, but like was a strategic command, either
Yeah.
planes or subs.
Hmm.
There's always stock footage from either Hunt for Red October or Top Gun or
Or Iron
maybe
Eagle.
even Iron Eagle,
Yeah.
stuff like that. They always took footage from them.
Or like the one of
That's
the
right, it
funniest bits
did.
of
Yeah,
stock
I
one of the
remember that
funniest
now.
bits of stock footage usage to me is in that Treat Williams action movie, remember? Where they used footage from Last Action Hero?
Oh yeah, I forget the name of it, but it's they they put Tree Williams in the Jack Slater jacket and red T-shirt, and it was the one he did with Michael Dudikoff, Gale Force. It might have been Gale Force. It might have been
Yeah,
something else.
yeah.
They totally took all Last Action Hero footage and then just dressed Tree Williams up as Arnold's the Jack Slater jacket. They always
I'm
did that
just
a lot.
I'm just wondering if Treat even knew that was the plan. Like he doesn't find out until like somebody shows him the movie
Yeah, I hope you're
later,
doing well, man.
and then he's like, "Oh, so that's why I was wearing that that outfit the entire time."
Hey, Sage, hope you're doing well. Uh, yeah, I mean, it's funny that they could afford to do that. I mean, I guess you would think it would cost a lot of money, but apparently not. Maybe they get
No.
some kind of weird deal with it or something. Blue is the warmest color I've never heard of. Oh, thank you, Mary Widow. Really appreciate it. Glad I called you
Yeah, I
guys tonight.
don't.
Hope you're all doing great. Hello. Thank you, Mary Widow. Really appreciate it.
Was it critical mass or was it extreme limits? There's probably Gale Force. I don't know. I don't know which one
And
it
maybe
was.
Extreme Limits. I think Extreme Limits also ripped off Cliffhanger footage.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And
the
I,
other
I
one might have been the Terminator 2, or was it the. Maybe I'm thinking the Militia with Dean Cain, where they took the Terminator 2 footage with the minigun.
oh yeah, I forgot that was in there.
But I really appreciate Mary Widow. That's really
Hey
kind of you.
there.
Thank you so
Wow.
much. I want to leave that up a little bit because this is the least I could do.
Hmm.
Come on, it's the least I could do. Thank you. Really appreciate the support, folks.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, American Horror Story. I didn't follow much of the show, but yes, Kim Kardashian will be in the next season because
And Emma Roberts.
Kardashians and Emma Roberts from Scream 4.
Yeah. She
Yeah.
did that Nancy Drew
But
movie too that nobody
sorry
remembers.
for folks. Sorry for folks. American Horror Story. Looks like your show's dead now too. Like a lot of shows, like a lot of stuff nowadays.
That's why I'm like, no Last Starfighter sequel. Don't want it. No, thank you. Just fine with
No,
having
why
it
would you?
be one. And also, like, what would the Last Starfighter 2 just sounds like an oxymoron. It was the Last Starfighter.
Nostalgia, hoping for the nostalgia money, hoping for more Ready Player One's type of stuff, maybe. Oh shit, what happened? Am I still on, guys? Mike disappeared. What happened? Am I still on? Damn, we talked about Emma Roberts. Emma Roberts grabbed him, I guess. Stuck him in the trunk of a car. Emma Roberts kidnapped him. Emma Roberts bring OCP back. Emma Roberts, you don't have to steal him. We rescue him from Emma Roberts. What happened?
I accidentally X'd out the tab I was in like a dumbass. I was trying to X
The
out
last,
a different tab, and then I guess it just wound up Xing out the wrong one.
the last Starfire 2. We're serious this time. It is the last Starfire. Until the next time. There's always a last.
Yeah, it's like
Whenever there's a last,
Highlander.
it's never the last.
There can be only one. But no, wait.
There's not.
There might be more than one. In this specific context, there's more than one. But at this point, there's only one. But there could be
But there's like
more.
50 more in the next
Yeah.
one. And there's a TV show where they're all over the world.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you. I never knew what super stickers were, but thank you. I appreciate that.
I think it's in the chat. It's like some kind of sticker or whatever that's in the
Yeah,
chat.
cool. And so that YouTube for some reason, well, it'll like disappear. That's why I try to get to these sooner. I don't know why YouTube does that. But thank you, Psycho Armor, the book that is written by the same guy who wrote Vampires and made it into a Carpenter film. Should have been a movie already. It's like a more serious Starship Troopers mixed with Halo.
That sounds cool.
I've never heard of Armor.
That sounds promising. But it's not an established
Starship,
IP, so these studios are going to ignore it right now because I don't get it.
yeah.
But I mean,
Because
what we're going to get next,
if it,
Matt, it's just a never-ending stream of video game movies after Super Mario Brothers being such a massive hit. The comic book superhero genre will like phase itself out a little bit or not be as popular and then the video game movie genre will just replace it, and we'll just get like, oh my god, here's another video game movie.
Well, to be honest, there's always been video game
Hmm.
movies that
Yeah,
have come out. So I mean,
but not at the same extent as like the superhero
well,
comic
we haven't
books
gotten
or
there yet.
genre. That's what I'm saying, but
Because
we're gonna get there. And then it'll be like 20 years from now, and we'll be like it'll be like 10, 15 years from
so
now, and all the major video
what
games have already been established as franchises, and then they're trying to
we're
find some new
halfway there.
franchise, and then they'll be
So you're
like,
saying we're halfway there?
yeah, and then I'll just be like,
We're living on a prayer.
it's like, meet me halfway across the sky.
But hey, Armor Book is fantastic. Try to collect the books. Very cool. Have to look into this idea. I never heard of it. Cool armor. But yeah, like you said, it's a new property, so they're too busy doing Lord of the Rings, the
Hmm.
Lords of Power that no
Yeah,
one
the
likes.
rings of power, the lord, the golden lords of power.
Was Water
Um,
Bros the first video game movie,
the 1993
as in I guess
film.
based on a video game,
When it
as in
comes to
based on a
like a
video game?
mainstream video game movie, yeah. I guess technically there was some Japanese video game movie before, but it was based on some
Oh,
obscure
the
thing.
was that the one that was the inspiration for Resident Evil? I think
Maybe?
there was a Japanese horror film
I don't
that
remember
was
the
the
name of
basis
it.
for.
Somebody just mentioned it in like a chat or whatever, in like the comments about like, oh, it's technically not the first video game movie. It was this. But that's so niche, and like it only came out in Japan. So I can understand why people would think that Super Mario Brothers was really the first one.
Sweet Home. That's the one I'm thinking of. Because there's a video game called Sweet Home that little bits of it was
Mhm.
inspired by the Resident Evil video games, and that was made into a movie based on the game in like I think the late '80s or something.
That might have been it then, or maybe one
Yeah, it
prior
might have
to
been
that.
Sweet Home.
But it seems like there's a lot of, Japanese, but, like, that's, like I said, a very niche audience. So, I guess mainstream video game movie probably would be Super Mario Brothers.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
But, yeah, going back to what I was saying about video
Appreciate
game
that.
movies, yeah, it'll just get to the point where it's oversaturated just like the comic book film genre, and then they'll be so
With that,
desperate. Because you're like, who the hell is Blue Beetle? Like, you're gonna get to the point where it's like, what the hell is Abadox? And everybody looking through all of these like Nintendo
also video
games.
game movie. Yeah.
Yeah,
How about a good Resident Evil movie? That'd be where to
yeah,
start,
yeah. Yeah.
but they
They
won't.
even did a reboot with the Welcome to Raccoon City, but I heard that was pretty bad. So,
Welcome to Raccoon City.
and then they did that other show with Lance Reddick.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Lance Reddit, but that was
Yeah.
not a good show. It wasn't a good show, let alone a good
It's
Resident Evil
crazy.
show.
It's crazy, Matt, that you had all of these Paul Wild, Stallion Anderson fan fiction Resident Evil movies, and they still haven't gotten it right after doing a reboot in Welcome to Raccoon City and a TV show. They had like not one but two chances to get it right, and they blew it both times.
It's not that hard. You get a couple people in a mansion. You get practical effects guys to do effects that, I mean, back in the day, people were doing effects for low budget films called The Deadly
Yeah,
Spawn and all these other movies.
I know
You
you can
have all the
do. I know
have
you
like
can
a
still do practical effects well because there was a lot of practical gore in the Foo Fighters horror film, Studio 666. I thought the film still sucked because the Foo Fighters can't act, but there was a really good amount of practical gore in that, like shit that'll make you go like, "Whoa!" Like there's a chainsaw kill where somebody gets There's a couple, they're having sex.
bisected.
Yeah, they get chainsawed through the chest and then cut lengthwise, and then their bodies both fall apart. and it's like all done practically. There's another one where a guy gets a symbol shoved into his head and then like, cuts his head in half, and then, the rest of the body like falls down, the head is just stuck there on the ceiling. So there's a lot of practical gore in that I was like, wow, okay. Film still sucks, but appreciate that.
So this is for you.
Give me
I
the
didn't see the
2003
trailer.
Peter Pan, I guess, but I'd rather just watch Hook. I mean, Peter Pan and Wendy is trying to be Hook anyway with its last line of dialogue. Like, oh, to grow up would be a big adventure. I'm like, oh, like to live would be an awfully great adventure. Wow. Talk about copying somebody else's work, Disney.
Yeah, I mean, whatever I say about Hook, yeah, I would rather watch that than either of these two movies. I agree with that. And all this about
Yeah, I
Disney, their
hate it
live action
too.
films
So
are great.
bad. I don't get it
Why do you
either.
think they do that?
I don't know. I really don't know. Like, aren't they supposed to be known for being colorful and bright? That'd be like going to the theme park and going to Disneyland and then everything's all muted in terms of the colors. You'd be like, what the fuck? Am I in the apocalypse or some shit? What the hell happened?
Uh,
Realism. I've heard people say it's more realistic, and I'm like, it's fucking Disney and it's Peter Pan.
as for the, oh, I thought you meant this question. I'm like, it's more realistic for muted colors. I mean, I don't see muted colors unless I'm colorblind.
I
I don't
know.
think I'm
I know.
colorblind, but yeah, I don't know why. I guess yeah, it is a
I just
Disney
hate this.
film.
I hate all these
Anytime I think
filters
of
to
Disney
begin with.
now, anything I think of Disney now, I just keep thinking of Marvel. I keep forgetting that yeah, before this they did Peter Pan
Yeah.
stuff.
You know what's
So
crazy
that's
about
right.
Disney, Matt? Is they're 100 years old. And if they keep it up the way that they're doing things, they're not going to make it to 110 or 100 and, 50.
Well, then I don't make it to 200. That's
No,
what you're
they're
saying.
definitely not going to make it to 200 if they keep things
If
up
they
the
go
way
this
that they
route.
are. And it's just like you look back at Disney's past and you're like, yeah, it legitimately used to be magical. The films were bright and colorful. There was a lot of animated movies and it really felt like a magical place of wonder, in terms of the theme parks or their films would take you to that kind of landscape. Even their shows on Disney Channel, even the cartoons like Darkwing Duck and DuckTales
Here's
and
a,
so on.
did you hear about the shareholder calls that Bob
Yeah,
Iger got?
yeah, yeah. I heard about
For
that.
those who
I
don't
watched
know,
the No News is Good News
stream.
premiere.
But for those who didn't see that, there was a shareholder meeting. Bob Iger's like the new guy, IDN. It's like a horror
Hmm.
film. He comes back. And shareholders were able to call, which I don't know how they allowed that, like what they thought. I,
Hmm.
maybe they thought someone was going to be scanning the phone lines a bit harsher. Someone called in and said they didn't curse, I don't think, but they said, "What's up with the? Why are you doing this woke shit?" You know, the whole thing with there's the San Francisco choir who
Hmm.
happened to be gay,
Hmm.
but they did this song. They say it's parody about how we're going to convert your children,
Yeah.
and there's nothing to do about it.
Hmm.
What kind of thinking is that to say that in a song for a
Yeah.
company or deal with a company that's
That's
supposed to be about family entertainment and
with that
Disney?
kind of thing, that's like a private joke. That's the thing that should remain like in private or, on the cutting room floor type of
Thanks, man.
deal.
Thank you.
Because it really isn't good PR. But I agree with the shareholder who I don't know who it is, but they have the right idea because what Disney has been doing lately and what other studios have been doing lately, with some of these films and shows and properties is changing them by throwing in all of these politics, throwing in all of this stuff about gender identity and all, gender politics or whatever the heck, and doing all this
Yeah,
other stuff,
yeah,
that
that's the name of it.
is fundamentally changing the product. It's different to me compared to the whole controversy about Bud Light, which I think is nonsense. Because, I understand why people are maybe, upset about who is the spokesperson, but this person is not even really a spokesperson. It's just some, social media thing that most of the people who are outraged probably didn't even know existed until now. But if there's like a rainbow Bud Light can, they're not changing the product. It's still the same piss water as before. But with a film or a TV show or a certain form of media, when you inject your politics and you do these kind of things and you start pandering and you start being overly political, you are changing the product fundamentally. And to me, that is an issue. And I think that's an issue that Disney is definitely facing right now. And I think that's why there's a lot of layoffs. I think there's why there's like 7,000 people. I think that's why Alonso, Victoria Alonso, why are the X-Men called the X-Men? That's outdated. There's women in the X-Men too. That's why she's
Hey,
out.
hey, by the way, spell women.
Yeah,
What's the
W.
last three letters?
Yeah, MEN. Yeah.
So that's why.
Mhm.
In fact, you get more. You get a whoa. You get Keanu's whoa in front of it. You get a whoa, man. So you got even more than us. We're
Yeah.
snipped in the front. Some people like that. Some people don't.
Yeah, we're circumcised.
Feel like damn chop top.
Yeah.
MEN. Exit. No, it's just we know how. That's why it's called X Men. Because men is part of women.
Yeah. And I'm like, diversity in the X-Men. Like the X-Men is one of the most diverse groups of heroes ever. And that's why she was like, "Oh, let's call them the mutants." And I'm like, "That's terrible." Like just calling them the mutants because that's a slur. That's a slur for the X-Men. That's what like bigoted, non-mutants would be called, non-X-Men would be calling them is the mutants. These mutants,
Yeah,
these mutant hordes
they don't.
trying to invade
They don't
our
think about
country.
story. They probably never
No,
read the shit.
no.
They never read the shit. They don't know what you're talking about. Hey Fabio, hope you're doing well, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. They've
yeah.
admitted it. The what was the show? It was like one of the was it Loki or no?
Hmm.
It was I think the Scarlet Witch one. Like
Yeah.
there was this big bad guy and they didn't know who it was. Like they didn't even know who the hell the bad guy was. Like people mentioned, oh, you don't have this character. Like who's that? It's like a big major character in the Oh, I didn't read it. You didn't read it. Then why are you making it?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that don't know what they're doing. They just did a
Mhm.
checkbox, check
Mhm.
mark,
Mhm.
and a check in the mail.
And it's happening with casting too, where they're not necessarily looking for the best actor or actress for the role. They're looking for somebody who checks off a certain box first and foremost. It's not even
Thank
really
you.
because look at the trailer for Peter Pan and
It's
Wendy.
just
Dude, I don't buy for 1 second that that's the best
sorry.
performers that they were able to get for that movie. Like that's the best actor you could get to play Peter Pan. That kid sucks. Can't act to save his life. But he checks a certain box. So that's why he was cast.
Well, it's going to be the same box as his career when it's buried after his film pans and flops.
Yep.
Yeah, X Files. We're going to reboot to make it more diverse because that's what was missing in the revival. That's why it sucked because it just wasn't more diverse. That makes a lot of sense.
The only diversity you're gonna get, Matt, is diverse ways that it's gonna suck. That's it. That's the only diversity that's gonna be in the new X-Files reboot.
Is that the Guyver?
Awesome, dude. Sick. Bio booster armor Guyver.
The answer
Make
is
that
zero,
movie.
and they did Guyver Dark Hero.
I
Just
know,
put
but
that
make
on
another one,
Blu-ray.
like with a budget behind it, or do like a Netflix series or something. Like, do that.
Yeah, but then he would be a pansy, and some girl
Yeah.
comes in, and what was the line in Batwoman? That suit will fit better if it
Oh,
fits a
it'll be
woman.
perfect once it fits. That suit will be perfect once it fits a woman. Yeah.
That's what they'll do. The
They'll do some shit.
MacGyver.
Well, they'll have like
Ma, be
Sean.
someone's mom.
They'll have like
Be
Sean
someone's mom.
Armstrong, and then he'll
The
be like he'll fucking
MacGyver.
die. He'll die, and then he'll be replaced by some random chick.
Yeah, Ma M.A. Guyver. Ma Guyver. The MacGyver.
Uh,
Hey there, hope you're doing well, man. And no, I don't care about the Harry Potter reboots. I
I
don't
know a lot
care.
of people are getting upset because J.K. Rowling is involved, and with the whole J.K. Rowling thing, it's like I've done research, and I'm like, what did she even say that was actually that inflammatory? It kind of just sounded like she just said something that was not even really that big of a deal at all. And they just exploded it into this huge, massive controversy.
Well, because she didn't fit the profile, and uh, she disagreed.
I guess so. Really, it comes down to that sometimes, Matt. It's just disagreeing with,
Derek, you're fine, man. I don't know what you're sorry about,
some
but you're
people's
fine.
opinions. Like if you just disagree with the group think or whatever nowadays, then that's what's problematic. And that's kind of scary to me. This mob mentality sort of thing. Where we'll cancel you because you don't agree with our politics or you don't agree with our opinion on this.
Yeah, whatever. I barely follow that shit.
Don't blame you.
uh, I didn't know he had sons. I watched that movie.
Yeah,
I
so
don't
would
know.
I.
I guess I would. Uh, I don't know. Actually, kill the whole
Yeah,
high
yeah, we would be the ones that take
high
out the
end
high
table.
table.
There you go. We do that.
We'd kill them all.
Actually, end it on a good note and say, Chad Stelsey, you can't direct anymore. Sorry, you can't write anymore. Sorry, we'll take care of this story. We'll get David Leitch come back,
Derek
and we'll get the
Kolstad.
guy who did, and we'll get the guy who did Day Shift.
Yeah.
The star actor's come back, but this time he'll look
Mhm.
normal. So now he could play a different
Who
character.
who directed Harker Henry?
Um. Oh, there's the same guy that did.
If you
Didn't he
can't
do
get if you
Nobody?
can't get yeah,
Because I think
you
he
just
did
bring
Nobody
him.
as well.
Just get him. Just get the Hardcore Henry Nobody guy. You already had Mr. Nobody in John Wick 4. And now when I think about it with Mr. Nobody, I'm like, was that like a dig at Nobody? Was that
Um,
like a writer sort of like, uh,
I don't know why.
I don't know. It just felt kind of weird that you had a movie called Nobody that had some of the people who worked on John Wick doing
I
it.
don't
And
think they
then,
thought that far ahead with the
yeah,
script.
yeah,
I
you're
really
right.
don't. The fucking movie begins with "I'm gonna get my wedding ring," but then he doesn't get his wedding ring. So what was the point of the opening? Like, what was the point of the opening? He kills three guys, and he kills a guy that wasn't even in the last movie.
It's just to
Because he even goes,
show,
I'm a different guy,"
yeah, it's just to show
and he doesn't get his wedding ring back.
desert shots again. That's it for IMAX.
But then, like, seriously, for people, what was the point of the whole opening? He gets a wedding ring, but he doesn't get it back. By the end of the movie, he doesn't get it back. So what was the fucking point? Exactly. Someone asked me which do I like more, Tremors 3 or 5 and 6. I guess 3.
The
Just
prequel.
5 and 6,
Yeah.
I guess.
Isn't Tremors
Just
3 a
5 and 6.
prequel?
No, that's the fourth one.
Oh, that's the fourth one. Never mind. Yeah.
Tremors 3 is the one that first starred Michael Gross.
Okay.
And that's where you have the blasters that shoot out
Oh
and
yeah, that
fly.
one's, I guess, kind of okay, but like,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I only like the first two really, but
yeah.
he was asked between 3 and 5 and 6. I guess 3. Who
With
says
Tremors, it's
here?
almost like I wish that we just got to see the pilot, like at least see the pilot, like with Kevin Bacon. Like it might have sucked, but at least like make it available so people can actually watch it. I mean, they did that for CW pilots, like that Aquaman. There was another Aquaman. Did you know about this, Matt? There was another Aquaman that was made by CW or the WB, like around the time of Smallville, and like there was a pilot,
Uh,
and
yeah,
apparently
I
it was
heard
pretty
about that.
bad.
Yeah. Hey, Derek Roberts, you're watching. Really, really sorry to hear that, man. Wish you the best, man.
Me too.
His mom ain't doing the best, so
Oh,
wish you the best, man.
yeah, hang in there.
Heart goes out to you, man. Take it day by day. That's the best we can all do.
Yeah, sure.
Uh, Someone's asking what's your favorite Russell Mulcahy film?
Oh,
I think most would say Highlander, but
yeah, he did Highlander. Let me see his his filmography.
I'm gonna go with Razorback. But I like Resurrection as well.
I also like. Didn't he also direct Ricochet?
Yes, he did do Ricochet.
I do like Ricochet. I think it's pretty underrated.
Yeah, I like that one. I'd probably say my favorite still Razorback. That's an underrated
He did
one.
The Shadow, and I really like The Shadow. So, despite, Alec Baldwin, what he did years later. I
Yeah,
might say The
we're
Shadow.
different on the head about the shadow. So
Yeah, I know.
you can
That's
keep
cool.
you can keep the shadow.
That's fine.
Yeah, I like Silent Traitor, but again, my favorite I would still say Razorback than Resurrection. But Razorback I think
Razorback,
is an underrated
it's
one.
getting a new Blu-ray from Scream Factory, but I don't really think there's a whole lot extra new stuff.
And what's cool is the Tunnel's getting a new Blu-ray. Yeah, I
Yeah,
look forward to
from
that. Umbrella
Umbrella. Now there
has
was
a
a
new
limited
documentary.
box set that's like crazy expensive, but there's another version that's not as
That
limited
has the
that
full-length documentary
Mhm.
on it, which is
Yeah.
cool. And I heard Imprint's Jacob's Ladder is a new transfer
Oh,
stream to
I
now.
didn't know it was a new transfer. Like it doesn't list that on their website. It just says that there's new
I mean,
features.
I'm not sure if anyone has that. Let me know. But someone mentioned like 1080 blah 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 by Stream Canal, as if they looked into
Oh,
it.
by Studio
I don't know if they
Canal.
Studio Canal I meant,
Okay.
because I don't know if they did the original Jacob's Ladder
Well,
Blu-ray.
if it's Imprint, they did because it's Lionsgate. Um,
Oh,
if Imprint,
hmm,
a lot of Imprint
maybe it's the
titles,
same.
at least some of them, they tend to actually get newer releases or releases of the same
Hmm,
film by other studios, like in America. So I'm wondering if
hmm,
Jacob's Ladder might wind up being one of those films. And I did hear through the grapevine somewhere that Conan the Barbarian's supposed to get a 4K, possibly from Arrow
hmm.
sometime this year. a 1982 film. Should be about damn time. And hopefully they have the theatrical version. Because for some reason the theatrical version was never released on Blu-ray. You only had like the version that they did some other version that they did after the fact. I think for
Hmm,
like the collector's edition. The actual theatrical cut was only available on
okay.
like the first DVD that came out a while back.
I real quick again for anyone out there, if anyone does see this after the fact, if you do get the imprint films Jacob's Ladder, do you let me and or others know? Is it different from the previous Blu-ray? Does it have like the older, cheaper $10 Blu-ray, or is it the same transfer? Because if it's a different transfer, even if it's just 1080p, I would like to pick it up. If anyone out there ever does,
Because if you go on
but
their website, it doesn't really give you a lot of detail about it. Just says 1080p high definition presentation. It has a new audio commentary with this film historian. It's got the same
hmm,
legacy featurettes and stuff, but it has an interview with the writer, some locations of Jacob's Ladder short, a video essay by a film historian, and then another video essay by somebody else. So it's like the only thing
hmm,
new is a new interview with the writer, which is kind of disappointing, but it is what it is.
yeah. Uh, Sorry, Bobby, I don't know who Nick Adams from Monster Report is, so I can't answer that. But I'm always up for the Dead Pit guys doing whatever they want.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, I don't know who the Monster Report is. Never heard of the person, but maybe I have to look into him. Thank you, Bobby. Take care, Raptor Kirby. Uh, Guns of Never in 4K is amazing. That's cool. Haven't seen the movie.
And I've never seen that one either. I've heard about it, but I definitely haven't seen it. I know Kino Lorber, they're having a crazy sale right now, their spring sale, and there's a lot of good deals on there. I had to limit myself this time around because I'm trying to be a little bit more responsible with my money this year. So might go in for a second round later, but for right now, I'm all right. I got the Missing in Action films, I got Mystery Men 4K coming, and Program to Kill from them. So
Mm, cool. Hey, Hunter. Oh, sorry. It flipped right up. Yeah, it would be nice, but sadly, it has the older documentary, I'm sure, but there ain't gonna be any new ones, sadly. I don't know
I ha-
why, but
and I guess Tim Robbins doesn't want to talk about it, which is too bad.
he's mentioned before, like someone there was a written interview that he's proud of the film. I guess he
Maybe
just doesn't
nobody's
do
asking
interviews,
him,
really.
or maybe nobody's asked him yet. They don't want to meet his price because I've seen that a lot where people are like, "Oh, we would do it," but like
Hmm.
they're not gonna pay us anything. And I don't blame for some of these actors. Like, you're not gonna give me something in return. Like, why am I gonna take time out of my
Hmm.
day and out of my schedule to do this?
But I mean, when does Tim Robbins ever do interviews?
Exactly. Yeah,
There you go. Yeah, Mike told me about this. Maybe I'll pick it up. I'm very stingy with my money.
that would be
So,
funny. That would be funny if Tim Robbins like he doesn't do interviews, but he did one for Howard the Duck. He'd be like, he doesn't do interviews for anything else, but did one for Howard the Duck.
still no word, man. There's still no word on
Second
it.
Sight's
So,
working on it. Second Sight, they're not as notorious as Synapses when it comes to taking forever. Because Synapse is still working on Deadly Spawn. Um, you know how long it took them to get the Kindred out, like forever and a day, and then some. So,
hmm.
Second Sight, they're working on it. Probably later this year is my bet. Because I remember reading something that they already like are almost done with the remaster. Um,
Sooner than the Leviathan 4K.
yeah,
But
I don't know what
Teen
to
Thanks to
say.
Lover.
Here's the thing. I got that from Dawn of the Discs, and sometimes Dawn of the Discs, they all they do is they just list some things that they've heard, and sometimes it's not always like something that actually happens. So they're not like it's like a fan sort of thing. You know, it's like a run by like a
Yeah,
fan
but
of
Kino
physical
released it as
media.
well.
Yeah, they
Just people
did.
working with him. I even answered.
Yeah.
They said we're still looking for it in Italy.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
like, so you announced it, but
Oh, I didn't
you're
know that.
still looking
I
for it?
didn't know that bit, that they're still looking for it.
Yeah, because I'm like, what the hell's going on? They're like, we're still looking for the elements, the original negative in Italy, and I'm like, didn't
Was
Scream
it
Factory have it?
trapped
But
in
apparently,
was it trapped in Cinecittà Studios back in Italy where they shot the film? Um,
Mike hasn't seen any of the Mandalorian.
no, no. I would
So
like to. I have Disney Plus, so I should probably get around to it. I haven't seen season 2 of Stranger Things, and I really like season 1. I haven't been really trying to watch a lot of shows because it's like that takes a lot of extra commitment for me. And I work 2 jobs, and it's already kind of hard sometimes to just, watch stuff that are, paid requests, or watch stuff that I want to watch, and then, then throw a TV show on top of that that's like 10 episodes, like 40 something minutes long with each episode. That's why it's taken me
exactly.
so long to get my list together for the best and worst of last year.
Do I have a favorite Roger Hauer film? It's The Hitcher and then Split Second.
Yeah, those would probably be up there for me. Blade Runner, I really like too. Love Rucker in that. The Tears and Rain speech is just amazing. Some of his best work, and it was mostly improvised by him too.
Mm-hmm.
Wanted Dead or Alive is also another classic, and I really enjoy Blind Fury.
Uh, Favorite serial killer? Count Chocula. He's a vampire.
Yeah,
Vampires kill people,
I've
and he's
always
a
been
serial.
fascinated by
So,
Zodiac. That's why I really like one of the reasons why I love Zodiac, David Fincher's film. I always found Zodiac Killer interesting.
cool. Enjoy Split Second. Cool. Huh. Always nice to see fans Split Second because it got dumped on when it came out. Always enjoyed it. Got the Blu-ray right there. Nice that they got the. It's too bad Roger Howard wasn't able to be interviewed, but it is what it
Yeah,
is.
I wanted to, but he was just not doing well, so he couldn't do it.
Yeah. Renfield, I think you're looking more forward to
Yeah,
me.
I actually am looking
More
forward to
forward than
that.
me.
I like the trailer. I've liked all the trailers really for it, so I'll probably see that sometime next week.
Cool. Hey, Aragorn, hope you're doing well. Joseph's General's asking, Mike, what's your favorite Charles Bronson movie?
Probably Death Wish 3.
I agree. I always loved Death Wish 3. Let's see, going back here.
I mean, I do like
Uh,
Murphy's Law, and I like That Men Do. I think that one's one of the more underrated Bronson films.
Someone's asking, Mike, what are your thoughts on the new Muppet Show, Disney Plus Muppets Mayhem?
Uh, I don't know about that one. I know they did like a new one for like when Disney Plus first came out, they had a new Muppet show. And I haven't seen either of them. Um, I'd have to check it out. One of these days I would love to revisit the Muppet movies at least because I grew up with those, and maybe watch the Muppet Show again because I grew up watching that like reruns on like Disney Channel. And yeah, the Muppets, like, there's just something so wholesome and just endearing about the Muppets. At least like, classic Muppets from, back in the day. I still get a kick out of Kermit, and the Rainbow Connection. Someday you'll find it, the Rainbow
Rainbows from
Connection.
San Francisco.
The lovers, the dreamers, and me.
Does,
Yeah.
is Kermit going to convert kids too?
No.
Sing, that's the song.
No.
That's Kermit's new song
Oh
in the
yeah.
show. It's
Oh
gonna be
god.
we're gonna convert you all to frogs. See
To
you
turn the
writing all your
frogs gay,
blogs.
right? Like Alex Jones. Remember that clip from Alex Jones? Even turn the frogs
Yeah,
gay.
but that's cool, Mary Widow. Hope you enjoy the film. I just again, I have little to no interest unless it's a request. But yeah, enjoy it. Hey, Devin, hope you're doing well. Thanks for coming by, man. Um, well, hope you're doing well, man. Uh, what was the thing that was on here? It went by quick. Uh, Mike, what were your thoughts when they were playing Creep in the Renfield trailer?
I liked it. I liked the remix that they did for Creep. I thought it fit Renfield pretty well.
Oh, and yeah, I remember 10 to Midnight, Devin. I like that Charles Bronson film. That's one of his
The
better ones.
naked
That and
with the naked guy,
Evil That Men Do.
right? The naked
Yeah, that
killer.
yeah. And the Evil That Men Do, that's a good one as well.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Racing. So now
It's like
sing
I
a
could
San
do
Francisco song.
it's like I could do Kermit singing, but I can't do Kermit like Kermit's voice. Like I could sing it, but I can't do like Kermit. I grew up with Muppet Babies as well. And that show, like if you watch some clips of that, like they got away with a lot for like a show back, like stock footage for Star Wars and Indiana Jones and stuff like that. That's why that show will never get an official release anywhere. And it won't even be streaming, is because of just all the
Now sing that San
copyright.
Francisco song.
I don't know what the San Francisco song would be.
I told you the lyrics. We're cover for your children. We're going to convert you.
I don't know
Those are
how it
lyrics.
goes.
Don't matter. Shitty anyway. Hey, Shay. Hope you're doing well. Uh, yeah, Deliver with Renfield, Mary Widow, and others. Hope you guys enjoy the film.
I'm hoping it does well because it's something that's somewhat original and kind of unique and kind of its own thing. So I'm hoping that it does well in the box office. But I just have this sneaking suspicion it's not going to do very well. It's probably going to underperform or something.
It's nice. Oh, that's nice. That'd be
Thank
cool.
you.
Shake Mike, go see P's hands. Watch Hard Target with me. Hey, I would enjoy that.
which
And then
which hard
the other
target
guy,
movie?
only the first one, not the sequel with Scott Adkins. We'll watch that together. And then the other guy who likes Koji fan, watch play does it. Cool.
hmm
Thank you, Bobby. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate everyone. Thank you so much, everyone, for the
Yeah.
generosity. Really appreciate you guys coming by. And thanks, Mike, for taking your time in
Yeah,
your
no
busy schedule.
problem. No problem. You know, this guy over here, he deserves every bit of it.
But another shout out to Dark Metal Spider for the nice blob laser disc and gifts.
Now we both have a blob laser disc, Matt.
But you do not have this.
No, I don't. The hat.
Yes.
Yeah. Matt, did I send you the press kit?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Sent Matt the blob press kit a while back. That's pretty sick. It's pretty cool. I have a Fright Rags out of print blob remake shirt that doesn't fit me anymore. I have one of those.
There we go.
And I do have it on VHS.
Actually, I can't see the chat, so I gotta get the other hat because I can't see.
I do have the blob remake on VHS as well. And of course, that.
And I don't have a laser disc, but I don't really
The
need
poster.
one. I like the look of it though. I like the look of them, the album
Yeah.
like look. Yeah, the Blob remake is very underrated.
It was awesome to see that in the theater in 35 millimeter. It's a blast. Wish you were there.
Was that the film people were talking shit throughout?
No,
Was that another
they weren't.
movie?
They weren't talking shit throughout that one. They were talking shit throughout Freddy's Freddy Nightmare on Elm Street 2 Freddy's Revenge. They were talking shit throughout that one.
Didn't you say
Yeah.
someone doing aliens or no?
Yeah, after Aliens, a bunch of fucking, hipster douchebags were, walking out of the theater and be like, "Oh, that's so cheesy, blah, 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 and overrated and whatever."
If their face is cheesy, should wash it off with their buddy's asshole.
No, I didn't remember hearing much of anybody saying anything that bad about the Blob. Like people were hooting and hollering and cheering and having a good time watching it.
Oh, whoops. Yeah, sure, man. I mean, I'll be boring because I'm not that interesting, but sure, Bobby, if you want, sounds good to me. Yeah, I'm not that exciting, but go for it. Thank you, Bobby. I appreciate it, man. Hipsters.
Yeah, because it's in Portland. It's just the Hollywood
Yeah,
theater, so it was perfect. I mean,
yeah.
yeah, Portland hipsters. But there were some cool people from there because there's actually a subscriber of mine who actually met me in person. Like I was at a video shop called Everyday Music down in downtown Portland, and like there was this guy
Okay.
who recognized me. And at first, I was like, "Huh, what?" I was like, "Oh, for YouTube." Like it was like, I'm like, "Oh yeah, cool, nice to meet you." That was like a first for me.
Was everybody around you in Portland? No, from Portland.
Cool. You saw
Probably half
Monster?
the chat from
Nice.
Portland.
Yeah, like I said, there's some cool people. They're not hipsters. The Portland
Except I guess
hipsters
those.
give the cool people in Portland a bad name.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I'll mention this. I, I'll be honest, folks. I got a request. It'll be on the Odysee channel because it'll
Mm-hmm.
have footage in it, and YouTube don't like that.
Yeah.
Me reacting to a stream of I did not know who this guy was, and people would be like, "What?" I did not know who Andrew Tate was,
Oh. Yeah.
and now I do. And
Uh-huh.
what a douchebag that
Yeah,
guy is.
total fucking douche nozzle. Like serious douche nozzle.
I mean, I'm not into the woke stuff either. Neither are you.
No.
That guy is like, my beaches and my hoes and these beaches and the beaches.
Did
Take
you
off
watch
your
him try to
fucking
rap?
sunglasses.
Did you watch him try to
No,
rap?
no, I haven't seen that.
Because
He's
he
wearing
did rap.
sunglasses in a studio. Take off your fucking sunglasses. You're in a goddamn studio.
I'm
You
like,
don't need sunglasses
I'm like,
inside.
who the fuck does this guy think he is? Corey Taylor? He's like, I wear my sunglasses at night so I can.
Yeah, I understand frame by frame. I know. I'm just saying, like, there's a lot more. I know. Trust me, frame by frame. I agree with you. I trust me. I agree with you, frame by frame. Believe me.
Yeah, that guy's is king,
I'm like, you're not a
douchebag
real martial.
king.
I don't. I don't care how many championships he's won. He's not a real martial artist. Chuck Norris is a real martial artist, in my opinion. In
Like
terms of,
Dolph Lundgren's probably more of a martial artist than he is, or even Van
in
Damme.
terms of, in terms of a person, in terms of not being so cocky and arrogant, it just
I'd love to see this guy try to do some Kempo with Jeff Speakman and see if he could actually
with all the stuff I
keep
heard
up.
about it, I expected one thing and I got completely different. I'm like, I don't get the hype, but to each their own for people who love the
Yeah,
guy.
the
I don't get it.
guy, he's what they call like an alpha Chad or something, or like an alpha male. The guy who thinks he's like the alpha male of alpha
He's the
males.
total opposite of the crazy like feminist stuff.
Yeah,
He's like the total opposite.
yes, he's the extreme.
He's like if Andrew Dice Clay took his stand up act and was 20 times more serious. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've seen clips of him,
Hey,
man.
Centrifuge, hope you're doing well.
It's some rough stuff to watch for sure. Andrew Tate.
Because I
He's been
really
getting
did not know
roasted
who the
into
guy
oblivion
was.
though. He's been getting memed right, left, and center. People are doing like this shit where
Hey, Bobby.
they're talking like
But
he's
go
like
ahead.
the evolution of like man, you know, like as a Neanderthal type of thing. He's talking about I'm the perfect specimen. And they have like the male specimen, and then they have like these like they're doing these memes with this face, which are actually pretty fucking hilarious. And I'm like, yeah, if this is the perfect specimen, man, we're in rough shape.
Like I
We're in
said,
bad shape. Men,
I'm I'm I'm
we men are in
I'm
bad
off the
shape. If
radar. So
that's the perfect man. Ugh.
yeah, I'm off the radar when it comes to a lot of stuff online. And I watched him for 2 hours and went, and like the two hosts are like, yeah, man, he's so cool. Yeah. Yeah, I know they're more popular. Good on them. 500,000 subscribers, good. We'll never see it. Oh well. I don't care. I guess I do care, otherwise I wouldn't mention it.
Also, the
Yeah,
guy's
care and jealous.
he
Hell
seems like
yeah, but
somebody who's
doesn't mean I have to
fake.
agree.
He's fake.
It's a
He's not an
persona.
authentic person. It's all a persona. It's all a act.
Yeah, it's like that's why like I can appreciate like I don't watch his stuff all the time, but I can appreciate like Joe Rogan
Hmm.
because some of his interviews are actually interesting, and whether you agree or disagree with everything he says, he seems like more of a guy you could talk to,
And
down
like
to earth
I know at one
guy.
point you did watch a lot of Markiplier. So, you know,
Yeah,
that's another YouTuber that, he also seems like a guy you could talk to too. Everything that I've heard about him, he seems like a
yeah,
legitimately nice guy.
yeah. It can't be like I mean, the better part is the idea in the middle when you so
Hmm.
far this and this whole
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, I just had to mention that because I didn't know who he was, and then I saw that and went, "This is what people are talking about. This is what
Uh-huh.
people love."
Did you see that he's under fire
I'll have
for
to find it.
potentially, being involved in sex trafficking? Did you see that?
I don't know
Yeah.
what's true about that or not, so
Hmm.
I don't know. Until I know, I can't say anything because I don't know. By the way, Essential Reviews and if anyone else, again, I was asking this before, but some people have entered in. We'll call that before every day. If anyone ever gets the Jacob's Ladder imprint Blu-ray, can you let us know? Is it a better transfer or is it the same as the $10 Blu-ray? For anyone who does get that, please let us know. I'd be very curious.
I'm surprised there isn't
Uh,
anything on Blu-ray.com, talking about it, on the forums.
I haven't seen anything yet, but imprint isn't as big as scenes as Vendor Syndrome or
No.
other places. You watch your Ghostbusters 2 right now? Cool. It's a good movie.
Nice.
Could I talk to Ben Shapiro? He doesn't know who I am.
The guy
I'm
who
going to get a
thought the
phone call.
Batman was woke, who's doing movie
Yeah.
reviews now.
Well, I'm going to get a phone and call him that, yeah, you don't know who I am. I'm some guy with glasses over here. Yeah, you don't know. No, I could talk. Could I talk to Stallone? How? No.
You'd have to pay like $500 to talk to
It's like Millie
Stallone for
Bobby
like one
Brown.
minute.
I think there's also Millie Bobby Brown. You got to pay like $500 to
Hmm.
meet her at a convention.
Well, I mean, there was a Back to
And
the Future reunion in Portland at a Comic Con or whatever, and like the prices were just through the roof just to, get a photo or, selfie with, the cast. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, no, I'm not paying that much. Thousands of dollars?
no,
What?
no, 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 no.
I will say this, Kane Hodder, when I met him at the Hollywood Theater, for the showing of Friday the 13th, Part 7, they only took cash, so I didn't know that ahead of time, so I wasn't able to take a photo with him.
Hmm.
Um, but I did get his autograph, and that was free. I didn't have to pay anything for that because I brought my own item.
Not anymore. Good luck for that now.
Well, that was this year, so I think it just depends on the situation and depends on the person. I think that's what it does. That's what it is.
Mike's not wrong. I mean, there was a convention where
Yeah,
it might have even been more
it
that you
was.
had to pay. I forget. It might have
Yeah,
been more than 500.
it was a lot of
Actually,
money to talk to Stallone or get his photo.
let me see if I can find it real quick. But yeah, it was. I'm a bit Stallone fan,
He's like, "Hey,
despite
yo, you want to talk to me? You got to pay up. You got to give me 500. $5 ain't gonna cut it."
there's the Experience with Sylvester Stallone live event, well
Yeah.
publicized, 750 to
Mhm.
1,250 a pop.
Yep. Yep.
I ain't paying that much to meet him. Fuck no. I ain't paying that much, goddamn much to meet Jesus, let alone fucking meet Sylvester Stallone. And I have more questions to ask Stallone because one of them was about Jesus. Hey, how's it hanging? But Stallone, like, I'm like, okay, I could ask
Well,
about.
Jesus
I
would be
would
like,
ask about
"Hey,
ICU.
hey, Jesus, what do you think about Mel Gibson?" That's another thing. What about this Passion the Christ sequel that I heard about that they're gonna do? Like, haven't heard anything official about that.
Yeah, because we need that. I really need that movie. Yeah. Yeah, I just I'm good with
No,
that.
Lethal
I'm
Weapon
good with that.
5 will also be Passion the Christ too.
Now Martin Riggs is crucified.
Yep.
They are too old for that shit. They're too old to be hung up like that. Get them down. I was just quickly looking, just because back in the day we used to do this
Mhm.
about like what comes out 2024. But it
Mhm.
always changes and stuff because it's
Yeah.
always changing. So I'm like, okay, I forgot they're doing that Dirty Dancing
Yeah.
film,
They're doing a remake?
and this is untitled
Didn't they already
Dirty
do a
Dancing film.
remake?
But they did Roadhouse 2 last fall.
Oh, it was Footloose, that's what it was. They did a remake of that. They did a sequel to Dirty Dancing, Havana Nights or whatever the fuck that was. That's what it was.
Hey, Mike, they're doing that movie, A Quiet Place. They're doing another one, but
Oh,
day one.
great. Day 1 must be
A
a
Quiet Place, day
prequel.
one.
They're doing some movie called Night Swim coming out in January, Matt, with Wyatt Russell.
Yeah, I like Wyatt Russell, so I don't know. It is January though, so
And it's called Night Swim.
backwash.
Columbia Pictures and Marvel Entertainment, El Muerto. Oh, it's a Spider-Man. It's a Sony Spider-Man spin-off thing. What the fuck is El Muerto? Man, I'm so out of the loop with Spider-Man, I guess, because I've
Is
I've
that
never even
Spider-Man
heard of
2099's dad?
I don't even heard of El Muerto. Wise
Um,
Guys with Robert De Niro. Directed by Barry Levinson.
who the hell is it, El Muerto?
I don't know.
El Muerto? Is that Spider-Man 2099's dad?
Oh, it's Bad Bunny. He's gonna be in it.
The
Minor
wrestler?
Spider Yeah, Minor Spider-Man. He's actually a musician, I guess, turned wrestler. Minor Spider-Man related character El Muerto, a wrestler who has superhuman strength. Yeah.
El Muerto was mentioned in one page of a comic. Well, that already now a movie, yeah, one page. Fuck. Jesus Christ.
Well, I don't know about that coming out in January because they're also doing Madam Web, which is supposed to come out then in February. Like, it's supposed to come out the same year in February, which another was like, Sony, stop. Who the hell is asking for a Madam Web movie or an El Muerto film or Craven the Hunter after Morbius? Like, did they really think Morbius was actually a popular film? Yeah, it's Tarantula, the fucking guy with the spiky toes. It looks like Gomez Adams on steroids. Is this guy gonna? So it's Vince McMahon.
Hey.
Are they gonna cast Vince McMahon as Tarantula?
I'd find this.
It'd be Vinnie Mac. There's gonna be Vinnie Mac as the Tarantula.
I'm telling you, I know what movie you need to make. You need to make this.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
There you go. Just make these two into a movie. I'll be happy. Mm-hmm. And Mike's favorite movie. But yeah, there you go. Make
He's
that
back online, back on duty.
Remember you played these?
Yeah, I think I might have. I don't know if I had that one or not. It kind of rings a bell. Well, yeah, because I had something. It might have been. I actually think it was X-Men, if I remember correctly.
Did they do a RoboCop one?
They did. I showed it on a stream. Remember RoboCop the series?
I know that was the setup for you to talk about it.
Yeah, they did a RoboCop one. It's up somewhere, and it just has. It's tied into the show, but I swear to God, I see Kane in there. So I'm like, why is one of the robots Kane? If it's supposed to be a tie into the show. Speaking of shows, they're doing the Fall Guy. They're doing a movie based on the the 80s show Fall Guy. David Leitch is directing it. Ryan Gosling is playing the Fall Guy. I don't know. I'll wait for a trailer.
I mean, David Leitch did Bullet Train, and Ryan Gosling was in. What was that movie? The
Gray Man, which I actually watched fairly recently, and I enjoyed it. I don't get like the 1 star, 1.5, 2-star reviews for that movie. I'm like, it's not that bad. It's got a great.
I liked it more than John Wick 4.
I agree. I like John Wick 4 more than you did, but I would say that I like The Gray Man more.
Yeah,
and that's PG-13. Like that whole sequence with the train. Like I would think, I honestly feel that was better than mostly anything in John Wick Chapter 4.
I agree. But can't be a Blu-ray of that because Netflix.
Like Netflix. Just like No 6 Underground.
Or Day Shift. No, I never played Resident Evil 8. What? Is that Village? No, I never played Village. Someone had mentioned they were going to send me a copy, and then it never happened. So I'm like, okay, maybe
hoping that the Fall Guy is not going to be like the A-Team movie. Because it's an 80s show from around the same time that's turned into a movie.
Well, you do have a better director.
Yeah,
who actually cares.
Yeah.
Because the guy who did the A-Team, he didn't like the A-Team show. He even admitted he was bad. He didn't get Mission Impossible. So what's a movie with a team? Oh, that shitty show, the A-Team? I guess I'll make a movie out of that. That was really his frame of mind.
Oh my God. No wonder that movie sucked.
He didn't like the TV show.
With its climax, with its climax, which is basically just a game of the claw machine, at the arcade, picking up storage containers.
It was a terrible movie, the A-Team. Nah, not for me.
How about Kung Fu Panda 4?
No.
The Disney Snow White, the live action.
No, Edge is not playing Craven the Hunter. The
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Aaron Taylor Johnson is. How big is my comic collection? Not as big as it used to. I have some Ninja Turtle comics. I have pretty much all the Preacher comics. which I enjoy that. I have the Death and Rebirth, Return of Superman. I have some Spider-Man comics and some Punisher. So it's not as big as it once was with
I
some
have
like
the Death and Return
Joe
of
Carney. Yeah.
Superman. I have Watchmen. I have some Deadpool comics. Um, one of these days, I wouldn't mind doing a comic video. I think one time I tried to do a comic collection video, but the lighting sucked ass, so I just stopped. But my lighting
Mm,
setup is a lot better now. And I have a bunch of RoboCop comics, Predator comics. I have a lot of Predator comics, a lot of Dark Horse Predator comics because I really like Dark Horse's Predator comics. Which,
yeah.
when the Predator came out, and Prey, I was like, fuck, can we just adapt one of these comics like Cold War or Concrete Jungle or one of them be better than any of this fucking original shit?
But Prey is glorious. Remember, it's better than the first.
Oh, fuck Prey.
Thought you liked Prey.
I didn't like Prey.
I know. I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing.
I would say I didn't hate it. Maybe I
It
didn't
wasn't
hate
a
it as
rant.
much as you.
It
I
wasn't a
didn't hate
rant.
it as
Your
much as you
review.
did. Well, it wasn't a
I
rant
know it wasn't a rant.
because I just didn't want to deal with the fucking shit I would get if I had a rant at the time.
Do you have Archie versus Predator? No, I don't have that one.
No, I don't
I
have that one.
remember it.
I don't have that one
I do
either. Or
remember that.
Archie versus Punisher. I also have some Mad Magazine compilation books that have like, mad
Keelan?
parodies of like movies and shows. Some of my favorite comics, kind of comic related. It's Wizard Magazine's Twisted Toy Fair Theater. So I have like a bunch of volumes of those, which, for those of you who aren't aware, Twisted Toy Fair Theater is basically the genesis of Robot Chicken. Because even people who worked
Yeah.
on Twisted Toy Fair Theater for Wizard, they went on to
Mhm.
actually work on Robot Chicken. So it's like they have like toys and they do little commentary with like speech bubbles and little like comics and parodies and little stories, and it's fun. It's fun stuff. Now, it kind of started out in Toy Fair, the magazine, which is a magazine. Wizard and Toy Fair don't exist anymore. They don't even have like a website. None of them are even, an IP, which is crazy. You would think Wizard would have survived because of, the huge comic book film boom and whatever, but that didn't happen.
Well, people watch the movies, but they don't read the comics.
Yeah. Sad but true.
Real quick, to answer a few questions real quick before we move on. I'll do these a bit rapid fire. Once I have the question, I was real quickly. I've never heard of The Loft Predator, so I haven't seen it. I do not have Keanu Reeves' comic Berserker. I've heard of it though. My favorite X-Files character is Mulder. And no, I don't put rant or epic rant in my titles. One, because of YouTube, but two, also as a personal choice because I I want people to actually watch the video and not just. A lot of times, if they see rant, they just assume one thing or another, or they don't watch the video.
Mhm.
They just go, "Oh, he's a rant." And I think that was an issue I kind of went into where people would only watch videos if they have rants in it, and very rarely anyone else on YouTube does that. And for me personally, if I like or hate a film, yet you have to watch the video to see that.
Mhm.
And also, with how many films I get, I don't want every video to be like rant, 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 rant,
Yeah.
rant, because it just gets
Yeah.
tiring to type that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I feel you on that. I'm gonna break it out only for things that, like, I'm gonna reserve it like for stuff that I really feel like deserves like rant in the title. Otherwise, I'm just
it's
gonna.
really like if I have 50 videos, like 4 of them would have rants on it. It
Yeah.
just would get a bit tiring for me as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, because like I said, for the other thing, I don't want to just have like 40 videos that have rant on it in a row. I just
Mhm.
rather I like review better. It just sounds better. It
Yeah.
looks better for me. And just, I need to get what, plus I'm getting older, just, I'm going to put rant in every, No, I mean,
You don't want to
This
be
is
the
my
grumpy old
review.
man character from
Yeah,
SNL played by Dana Carvey.
yeah. I'm still gonna be honest. If I hate the film, I'm gonna be honest about it. But I like review. It just looks better. It's
Hmm.
titled better. Oh, this is something like something clever with a title, like
Hmm.
a disappointment or something.
Hmm.
I just need to change it up a bit.
Yeah, it's understandable.
That's how I do it.
Got Captain America NWO. I still can't get over that. New World Order.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
is Hulk Hogan gonna show up with fucking Kevin Nash? And just be
Well, I
like,
mean,
banner to bam bam, banner to bam bam.
well, Terrace Quad's on the way.
The New World Order.
I don't care about the new Captain America. I could give a rat's ass about it.
Yeah, I stopped caring about Captain America once Chris Evans, retired playing Cap.
And it's just like, not,
For me,
ballerina. There you go.
Steve Rogers is Captain America. I'm not accepting any substitutes, and I like Falcon, but I'm no Steve Rogers, no Cap. They're doing another
Mikael Harris
Garfield. Like, great. I think it's animated though, but it still could suck.
was Jack in The Shining supposed to be a good dad instead of going insane from the beginning? Well, you'd have to read more of the book because that's more like the book.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not insane from the beginning. It's because of cabin fever.
Yeah.
It's just his Jack being Jack, but he just more insane as it goes on because of cabin fever.
What, Matt?
My
You're not looking forward to Ballerina or Twisters? I still can't believe that's a thing. Twister 2.
Why do we need a sequel to Twister? I
I
mean,
have
Bill
no
Paxton
idea
has passed away.
why. Exactly. Bill Paxton is no longer with us. Like, make any sense to do a sequel? And neither is Philip Seymour Hoffman. Like, he's no longer around either.
Yeah. I don't know who is looking forward to that.
They
Not a
already
single
announced
bit.
another Transformers movie. God. That is a franchise that is never going to die.
No, not anytime soon.
Got Blade. They're still trying to do that. I'm like, just cancel that shit already. PG-13 Blade. Give me a fucking break. Stop trying to skate uphill with this Blade reboot. Motherfuckers always
I
trying to
thought
skate
you
uphill. Oh, they're doing a Mufasa. It's a Lion King prequel about Mufasa. Disney is doing that.
They are milking every
They
money because
really
they
are.
lost a ton of money. They
Yeah.
lost a ton of money.
Inside Out 2. Um
That Frozen sequel, yeah,
Out of
they're
all of this,
doing.
I would say like the Untitled Karate Kid film I don't give a shit about because it's not I heard it's basically just a remake again. That's what I'm hearing that it's gonna be. It has no
I'll
time.
pass.
It has nothing to do with Cobra Kai, which I'm baffled by since this is a popular show for a lot of people. Makes no sense that they're not taking advantage of that. Um,
Yeah, Zootopia 2 for the furry conventions.
yeah, there are a lot of people really into that bunny. Gotta be honest, a little too much into
Yeah,
that bunny.
yeah, yeah,
Mission
yeah.
Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 2. Like I've heard that's supposed to be the last one. Like I've heard Tom Cruise basically say like this is it. These Dead Reckoning movies. Once I'm done, it's
And
over
my
and done
character
with.
dies.
Please, don't kill Ethan Hunt
Look at
too.
all the positive reviews John Wick 4's gotten.
But they
Man,
did
maybe
that
I
with
need to do this.
No Time to Die. They already killed James Bond.
Now Ethan Hunt must go. It's time for him to die.
Ethan Hunt
It's
must
time
die.
Ethan Hunt must die.
That'll be the the Dead Reckoning is he dies. That's why it's called Dead Reckoning. The Joker sequel, I like Joker, but I thought they were gonna do something along the lines of like The Godfather Part 2, like the rise of the crime lord or whatever. And that I might be kind of curious about, but a pseudo musical where he's like I heard like he's mostly in jail. I'm like,
How many
oh,
hours do you have? Let's
okay,
see.
we got Luke
Alien
Devereaux.
3.
We got Luke Devereaux
Okay,
and
wait.
Universal Soldier.
Ripley hits anew in Alien 3.
Mm-hmm.
So, Captain Kirk in Star Trek Generations.
Yes.
James Bond, No Time to Die.
Luke
Michael Gross in
Devereaux.
the last Tremors film. They killed Burt Gummer.
Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia.
Well, she died in real life, but I
Yeah,
get
but
what
they
you
still
mean.
killed the character, if I remember correctly, right? Didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Optimus Prime back in the day on the Transformers movie, the animated movie
And they
for Judd
killed Duke
Nelson,
and G.I.
dumbass.
Joe, the movie, until the backlash for Transformers, the movie, was so strong that they were like, oh no, he's alive, with like some like ADR after the fact.
Iron Man, Captain America. Is he dead? Captain America, he dead.
Well, he's not
He
technically
old.
dead. He's just old.
And then dead. You haven't seen him since, so maybe he's dead. Probably dead.
uh,
Logan, he dead.
mm-hmm.
I know it's an Elseworlds, but it's okay. He's dead. Picard technically dead
Yeah, because he's a
because they cloned
robot.
his body.
He's a robot. He's an
He's a
android now.
robot. He's an android. So Picard is dead. Pretty much dead. Data dead. Oh my god.
Spock is
Fucking.
dead.
Yeah, Spock is dead. Yeah. Oh, whoops. Sorry. Hit the one.
I'm like,
I'm not dead. Still here.
it's gonna be like surfing the rainbow. I'm not
Oh,
dead.
the Ninja Turtles dead, and that last Ronin,
Yeah,
they all dead. And then at
yeah,
the
they're
end,
all.
Mighty gets revenge, and then he dead. He dies of his wounds.
It's just like he
So everybody
dead.
in
They all they all dead.
all the Ninja Turtles dead. And
Well,
that's like been the most popular comic they've had the past 2 years. John Wick dead.
in that fucking RoboCop versus Terminator, RoboCop Kill Human, whatever the fuck that is, that comic. There's a bunch of people who die in that one. John Connor. I think RoboCop dies too. Doesn't he like drown? I don't remember exactly
I
what.
don't know. You told me about that.
Yeah, that
I
comic
didn't
was
read that
fucking
one.
shit. Sucked. I hated that comic.
Rocky got cancer.
Yeah.
Everybody he knew dead, except his son. But Adrian dead. Paulie dead. Indiana Jones will probably be dead.
There's multiple Van Damme characters that are dead because technically Van Damme's character from Kickboxer is dead. He died off screen.
Yeah.
Kurt
He
Slump.
died in Kickboxer 2.
He died in Kickboxer 2.
Yeah, Brody Roy Scheider, his character dead in Jaws 4.
Yeah.
He dead.
Yeah, that fucking nonsense where he died of a heart attack because of fucking shark, which you're like, what?
See, he dead. John Connor shot in the face.
Shot in the face.
And Darth Fate. At the first 5 minutes of Terminator Darth Fate, got shot in the face with a shotgun. So he dead.
Rachel from Halloween 5, Halloween 4, right? Her character's dead.
Well, Jamie in Halloween 6, she dead. It'd probably be better list who's not dead.
Bishop, he did.
Yeah, Bishop, he did. A lot of people did. Thank you, Bobby. I didn't see Evil Dead Rise. I mean, it hasn't even come out yet, really. But I have a good feeling I would still like Halloween 3 more. Just my guess. Oh, Bill Pullman, Independence Day Resurgence, he did.
Oh yeah, he's dead too. Oh, isn't Will Smith's character? Isn't Captain Hiller dead too?
Yeah, he died off screen. His ship blew up in a test something.
Yeah.
And then his character's son stars. So Will Smith's character ID4, he dead. Bill Pullman's character dead. This Rick Grimes Walking Dead, I guess he's dead. Enon Spangler, yeah, Harold Ramis passed away, but then just the way he's not just dead, but he's like, you should burn in hell. Fucking Ray.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, Nancy in Elm Street 3, she was dead. Dream Warriors are dead. Oh, Rick Grimes didn't die. Well, I didn't watch The Walking Dead, so I was just reading the chat.
Oh yeah, Terminator RoboCop Kill Human. Yeah. Yeah, that is the one where John gets his head cut off by the T-1000. Yeah.
They probably will cut off Marion in Indiana Jones 5 since she's not in it. You know, Karen Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they will?
I don't know. I don't know what they'll do. I know I've heard like from Frank Marshall, like everything that's not true about the rumors about the film. Like none of it is accurate. No one's replacing Indy. And I'm like, he would never double down on that.
Dante from Clerks 3, he did.
Yes, he's dead too. My worst film of 2022.
They did kill off He-Man. They brought him back as an idiot, and then he's kind of lappy. He was dead for a while.
Oh yeah, this is what happened. This is the ending of that shitty ass comic, Terminator RoboCop Kill Human. In the ending, RoboCop makes a decision to trap John, Dick Jones, the T-800, and the T-1000 in the acidic chamber while it's being filled up by water. It results in John's death, but Skynet is, I guess, eliminated in the process.
Yay.
Yeah, RoboCop basically lets everyone die. Watch, yeah, that'll be they'll make RoboCop versus Terminator, and that'll be the comic that they'll adapt on the big screen.
Yeah, that'd be nice. RoboCop will be dead. Murphy will be dead. Y'all killed off Lewis.
Yeah,
she dead.
Yep, she's dead Officer too.
A lot of people dead. Well, Marco Anzio.
Here's another one.
Elm Street 4 was the first one I saw. So, and I love Lisa Wilcox was my favorite character.
I guess he's not technically dead if you count Iron Eagle 4, but if you don't count that, then Doug Masters is dead.
Yeah. Yeah. But someone was asked about, well, how come I like Elm Street 4? That was the first one I saw.
And that's
one of the first I saw, and I like Lisa Wilcox.
It's a really fun sequel too.
And so I don't have that perspective.
Has some of the best Freddy one-liners too. How's this for?
Plus, it gave me a lead character that became my favorite of the franchise as well. So it's all a matter of perspective and how it's done.
Matt, you're not looking forward to the Gladiator sequel? Because the Gladiator, Russell Crowe's character died in that movie, but they're doing a sequel.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I don't
how?
care about that.
He's dead.
Well, Elm Street 4 is a lot better of a movie than Star Trek Generations. That's not the
Oh
only
yeah,
reason why, but there's a lot of other reasons
not even
why I like that
close. If
film
you're
on its
comparing the
own.
two, Star Trek Generations is like a extended two-part episode of the show that reuses stock footage from the previous film in Star Trek 6 and has like two scenes in it which are worthy of the big screen. The cartography scene and the sequence with the separation of the
Yeah.
saucer. And I actually read something about Star Trek Generations. Like a fan came up with some ideas that I thought were really interesting. Like, what if Kirk is the one that takes over the Enterprise D and then handles the whole separation sequence? I'm like, that would be interesting. He captains another
Hmm.
ship.
Hmm. But thank you, Caleb, for this. I would say Jackie Chan
Yeah,
films.
Jackie Chan.
Jet Li, a few I liked. He has Kiss of the Dragon. I think it's my favorite of his. Fist of Legend. But Jackie Chan, there's a lot more.
Hmm.
The police story films, the Rush Hour first two ones, Operation Condor, Rumble in the Bronx. There's a lot more of his filmography that I've enjoyed in terms of action and humor. So I would say, like even Mr.
Yeah.
Nice Guy, I think is an underrated one. So I would say Jackie Chan. I would pick
Did you ever see
over
The
Jet
Spy
Li.
Next Door? Because that was a trailer before
Yeah, it was a
the
bad
movie that I
one.
watched last night. I was like, this just looks like a remake or a ripoff of The Pacifier with Vin Diesel. That's what it looks like, but
Because
with Jackie Chan.
yeah, because he was supposed to do the pacifier and he said no,
Oh.
or something happened.
Hmm.
So I think this was his way of, oh, that was a hit. I better go do this movie now. And it wasn't.
Speaking of The Pacifier, I actually don't mind that movie, as kids' movies go.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. Speaker Turd, do you think it's too late to resurrect Kurt since Picard season 3 teased the possibility?
Yes.
Shatner is like 80 years old,
He's even
90 years
said,
old.
Shatner's even said openly that I don't have much time left. Like, he's even said that in interviews.
Isn't he 90 years old or
Yeah,
something?
he's up
89?
there. He's up there.
So yeah, it's a little bit late.
No,
A
Matt, it'll
little
just
bit.
be AI. It'll just be deep fake. That's what they'll do in the future. Everything will be like deep fake. Have some young guy body double, like with Egon's ghost,
Or
who
Paul
was
Walker in the
yeah.
new Fast and Furious. Yeah, Shatner's 90, yeah.
Are
He
they
has been to
really
space. Pretty
are
cool.
they really gonna do that though with the new Fast and the Furious? They're gonna have like somebody.
Yeah, they said that. Because they had to put little bits of that in Fast Furious 7 for the scenes he couldn't shoot.
Yeah, yeah, I remember
Use his
that.
brother.
That was the brother. Are they
And
doing
now
that
with
again?
look what they did with Egon at the end of Ghostbusters
Yeah,
Afterlife.
yeah. Which I
They
admit
had
it
a whole
manipulated
scene.
me. It manipulated me initially when I saw it in the theater. I did cry, but then I about it later, and then I'm like, this is manipulative and just hollow. Doesn't have the same impact.
Yeah. But they'll do it again because they'll get buzz. Whether it's negative or positive, they'll get buzz.
Yeah.
And then people who are fans, and I liked Paul Walker as well, but there are people more hardcore who they want to see what it is out of curiosity, and they try and make as much money as they can as you put this to rest.
I guess Jordan Peele's gonna be doing an untitled film in 2024. If it's anything like Nope, I mean that could be good. That has some potential.
Yeah. Hey, Wonderwaz, I'm enjoying the game. No, I'm not enjoying Ashley, the character. She's still annoying as hell. But yes, I am enjoying, despite me sucking at the game, I am enjoying the Resident Evil 4 remake. I love playing it. It's a lot of fun. It's a good remake. I do have some nitpicks and issues with it, but I still am. I do enjoy the game. I think it's a good remake. And I'm on the PlayStation 4, and it's running pretty smooth on there. So I do have a little, I have a couple issues. I probably say I still prefer the original. Call it nostalgia or just growing up with the game more, but I do think it's a good, fun remake. I would give it I haven't finished it yet, so I can't tell you my full verdict until I finish it. But as of now, it's at least, I would say, an 8.
They're doing a Chicken Run sequel. Yeah, it's supposed
A
to
little
come
bit
out later
late.
this year. Chicken Run, Dawn of the Nugget.
Owen Hart? No, I'm just kidding. Uh,
I mean,
but
let me look at the voice cast. No, he's not in there. But honestly, it would not have
no,
been shocked if he was in the voice
it would have been
cast.
shocking for me because he passed away. I mean,
Oh,
they brought him back to
I meant Kevin
Owen Hart.
Hart. I meant Kevin Hart. I thought you said
No,
Kevin Hart.
no, I said Owen Hart.
Different Hart. Okay,
But
that
don't
would
let
be
it.
shocking.
I'm like, yeah, that would be shocking.
They're doing another Equalizer movie. I don't really care.
Yeah, the third one.
Meg 2.
Didn't like the first one much. Disappointed.
Another
Hey,
Insidious
Andy
film?
P4.
Jesus
Yep.
fucking
Directed by Patrick Wilson this time and
Whatever
starring.
happened to The Last Key?
It came out.
No, I'm saying like it was called The Last Key. Didn't that mean like it was it? That was the last one? No, it's like The Final Destination, which wasn't even like the last one anyway, right? Wasn't there Final Destination 5 after that?
Yes. And I remember hearing there's another reboot of that sometime.
Or like
Someone's
the white
asking, did you ever see The Forbidden Kingdom with Jackie Chan?
No, I haven't seen that one. I think Matt's seen it. Didn't you weren't you disappointed by that one? Wasn't Jet Li also in that?
Yeah, pretty lame.
To be honest, I mean, I'm just looking forward to I guess for the rest of this year, like Sisu. I actually really like the trailer for that. Um, um,
What's that funny, Marco?
I
Let's
would
see.
say definitely not Transformers: Rise of the Beast. It's not Strays. It's not The Flash. Fraction 2. I
No.
mean that the trailer was not really a trailer. It was just some clips of the movie. Um, they might announce some stuff later on because that happens a lot with movies. You'll get like, oh, like that's how John Wick first came to our attention. It's like out of nowhere.
Hmm.
I don't have a few others like that, so I don't know.
Someone's asking, have you seen the 2005 Doom movie?
Yeah, the Doom film. Yeah, I don't remember being a big
Yeah.
fan of it. I would like to revisit it one of these days. I do have the 4K. I do remember liking the short first person shooter scene. That was cool. I guess I was disappointed by the film because I read the novelization by John Shirley, who also did the novelization of Constantine. And the novelization was like gorier, had like more of the demons, and just it felt like a completely different movie. And then I saw the movie, and then I was like, this isn't anything like the book that I read. So I was disappointed by it.
Uh, Someone's also asking, do you like Peter Hyams, the director?
Peter Hyams, yeah, I
Peter
think he's a
Hyams.
great director. He's in a lot of really good stuff. 2010, the year we made contact. Um,
Hmm.
he also directed Narrow Margin with Gene Hackman. Very underrated director. He's in a lot of really good stuff. I think he also did Running Scared, right? He directed that. End of Days, Time Cop, The Relic, Outland with Sean Connery. One of my favorite Sean Connery films.
Marco, the Owen Hart joke was not a mean spirited joke. It was me saying, he said golden nugget, so I mentioned because he said nugget. And I'm like,
Mhm.
yeah, that would be surprising if he was a voice, it would be surprising.
Yeah.
There's nothing mean spirited about that
No.
joke. The
No, yeah,
best way to for Owen Hart is to remember him, unlike WWE that wants to forget about him
yeah,
and
I hate that. I
then
hate that.
not do any damn because of his wife not, I get it that she doesn't want to give them money, but I agree with Bret Hart. People want to remember him, want to remember his matches, want to remember his
Mhm.
legacy. Whether you hate, and I don't like WWE either, but
It's like it's not the same
they want
thing
to
as Chris
remember him.
Benoit. It's not the same sort of situation. And even then, I think, honestly, with the Chris
Love
Benoit
Outlaw.
situation, I think they should just let people watch his matches, just make up your own
Yeah,
mind type of thing with what happened there. Because for me, I think it's a lot more complicated than some people make it out to be when it comes to the Chris Benoit thing. Like he was not all there even before any of that happened. And a lot of that is because WWE just enabled him and allowed him to continue to just damage himself.
yeah. But yeah, I love Time Cop, Peter Hyams, Outland. I love as well. That's actually my favorite Sean
Yeah.
Connery, Outland, and yeah, Outland is great. Stay tuned,
Oh
John
yeah, I forgot
Ritter.
he also directed that. That's one of my favorites. That's one where I always think of when, because the Spike character, you had the guy who came straight out of film school and he's talking about all this subtext and whatever, and he's like, no subtext. That's how I feel about a lot of fucking modern movies today. I'm just like, no subtext.
No,
Make an
Marco, I was
entertaining
not doing
movie.
the. Yeah, Marco. No, I was not doing the He Dead Joe with Owen Hart. I was talking about the Nugget because he mentioned
Yeah.
Nugget, and that was the famous thing he did. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Someone's asking, "Are you looking forward to seeing the movie Hex?" Because you mentioned that. Yeah, I'm sure you look forward to that.
Sure.
If a skydive is cursed, that's the
Like,
movie.
I'll say this. It's an original idea, but it's another one of those things where it's
Yeah,
like it hasn't been done before for a reason. It's like somebody saw Drop Zone and was like, "You know what would make this better? If there was a curse."
yeah, and yeah, I love End of Days. It's another Peter Hyams film I love. Love End of Days.
Yeah, that's an underrated one for sure. That's one where like the hero dies at the end where I'm okay with it. Like that doesn't bother me.
Because it's its own separate thing, and
Mhm.
they delve into the story even to the point of knowing that heaven and hell exists in this universe and seeing his wife and kid. Like they worked it well into that to make
Mhm.
that. But if he lived, I would not have been mad either. But it worked
Oh
well in
yeah.
the movie with how it came about.
He also did
Because Arnold's a badass.
Sudden Death with Van Damme, and the Presidio wasn't too
I
bad
like.
either.
Yeah, it's there, the Presidio. I like Sudden Death except for all the obvious doubles because he was on drugs. Van
He
Damme.
directed a film called Peeper. Interesting. Michael Caine.
Yeah, haven't seen it.
I've never seen it either. I thought it was just kind of interesting looking at his filmography. Oh yeah, Capricorn One, The Star Chamber. Oh yeah, that one with Michael Douglas. That one wasn't too
But with
bad
this
either.
said, I'll probably end it here. It's about 2.5 hours. I don't usually go too long because the energy will be drained a bit
Mm-hmm.
after about 2.5 hours. It's a good length of time. So I want to thank everyone who sent in the kindness. By the way, Silver Wings, this guy, I want to give him a shout out because he's beat almost every 32X game,
Wow.
which some of them are pretty hard. And the last one he did was that Scottie Pippen basketball game, the FMV,
Yeah.
which was so confusing. And he was able to understand it and beat it. So
Nice job.
congrats on that.
Nice job.
So I think he's got one more game that he's going to live stream sometime, 32X, and he'll complete pretty much every 32X. Are they still on your channel, by the way, Silver Wings? None of them got taken down because YouTube is shitty on that. But
Is he gonna move on
for
to
those who
like
like,
the Sega CD after
can imagine how
32X?
expensive that would be. Because those are
Yeah.
some expensive games. I mean, 32X,
Yeah.
some of them is like 2 games left to beat. Okay. What are they, if you don't mind me asking?
I
Yeah,
don't
now I
know if
wonder, like, what are you gonna do
I don't
next?
know if he's gonna emulate anything or not.
No, he doesn't. No, he has all the actual stuff.
Oh, cool.
So there's no emulate. He actually plays it from the system. Still have them upload. Very cool. So from the system. So he's on the actual hardware, so it all works
Mhm.
more pristine. He's the guy that I was telling about that do how to do the cliffhanger snowboard,
Oh god, yeah, that fucking game.
and he knew how to do it. So Mortal Kombat 2 and Supreme Warrior. Oh, Supreme Warrior. That's
Alright.
the kung fu one. That's like Sky Pippen, Sky Pippen basketball game.
Scottie
That's the
Pippen is
even
in
when you
Supreme
play.
Warrior? He's the Supreme Warrior?
That would have been funnier, but there was a Sky Pippen Slam City,
It would
which
be
is an
funnier if
awful looking
Ultimate
game.
Warrior, he's the Supreme Warrior. And all the
That would have been
FMV
better.
videos are just the Ultimate Warrior doing his, like, crazy weird ass speeches that don't make any sense. Making up
But
words.
they're pretty fun to listen to, though.
The
At least for me.
distressity. Like his comic. Have you seen those freaking comic books, Matt? The Ultimate Warrior
Yeah, I
comic.
know of them. Pretty crazy.
Talk about a fever dream, man.
So one quick last question for Silverwing. Okay. I gotta wait for it to come up here. Virtual Boy. Oh yeah. Gamecom. Good. Atari
Good
Jaguar.
luck
Dark
with
Jaguar.
Virtual
Yeah.
Boy. Make your eyes want to explode trying to play those games.
Yeah. I love the Waterworld one. Although there's some fun games. It was a
Speaking of Waterworld,
shitty concept.
Arrow is releasing that in 4K, and I'm like, that already came out in 4K by Universal, and the Blu-ray set's already out. I'm like, I don't care about Waterworld in 4K from Arrow. I'm fine with my Blu-ray. People should
Yeah, I'm
use
fine with the
that
Blu-ray as
clip from
well.
Waterworld more often with Dennis Hopper. Looks like shit. That should be a meme that's used way more often for like anything. Cap the Marvels trailer looks like shit.
One last question from Gozer. Mike's least favorite Tales from the Crypt
Ooh,
episodes.
I have so many favorite episodes. One of my all-time favorites is definitely Cutting Cards with Lance Henriksen and Kevin Teig. Um, I also really like there's just so many. There's so many episodes of that show that I love. Um, but yeah, Cutting Cards is definitely up there. That might be my favorite because I've watched that numerous times. I never get tired of it because the two are just so good in it. Um, but I do like other ones. Least favorite, probably like some of the like crime suspense stories ones that are just boring.
Hmm.
Like Whirlpool or stuff like that. But I'd have to think. No, not Whirlpool. It's that fucking one with Michael Ironside. The Sacrifice, I think is what it's called.
Hmm.
Yeah, that one is boring as hell with some guy and his fucking parrot or some shit. That episode sucked ass. Yeah, that one's okay. Collection completed. It's not one of my favorites, but it's okay. It kind of has the vibe of like a Tales from the Dark Side episode more than like Tales from the Crypt. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, I season 3 is my favorite season of the show, and there's so many gems from that season that I really like. So, I would say most of my favorite episodes are probably from that season, with a
No problem for me.
few exceptions. Um, and I still need to watch season 7. I've heard like most of the worst episodes are in that season. So, I mean, it makes sense. They moved it to the UK, cut the budget in half, and cut corners. And I still think that show would have lasted longer if they didn't do that. But it is what it is. They decided to move forward to perversions of science and thought that the Tales from the Crypt brand would survive for multiple movies, but After Demon Night, no such luck.
But with that said, call it a night right now. Thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you, Mike, for taking your time. It was a lot of
Anytime.
fun.
Yeah.
And with that said, we will see you guys later. Take care and have a good night.
See you.
Bye-bye. So let me make sure I get this